Shuru? Mic off. A warm good morning and namaste to all. I am Dr. Neeraj Kende. I take this privilege to welcome you all on the behalf of Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV, District Varda. I welcome you all on this absolutely auspicious, wonderful and beautiful day that brings together so many people, special people like you. Dear friends, today we join here to attend one-day national level e-conference on soft skill development of rural UG, means undergraduate student. I would like to open this discourse with the lines of Peggy Claus. Soft skills get a little respect, but will make or break your career. In this era of globalization, undergraduate students needs to possess professional competency. Soft skill plays an important role in the professional as well as in the personal life too. Taking this into account, the Department of English has organized one-day national level e-conference so that the rural student may be acquired with the basic significance of the soft skill. In this e-conference, we will try to understand why, what, and how soft skills are needed. Before the begins the battle of brain, we should officially inaugurate the e-conference. So I welcome you all in the inaugural session or inaugural function of the conference. I would like to welcome the Honorable Chairperson of the inaugural function, Dr. H.R. Verurkar Sir, Principal, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV. I heartily welcome to our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Anej Somraj, Head Curriculum, NSQF, ASAP, Kerala. I also welcome Honorable Dr. Sheetal Babu Sir, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of English, Krishna Mahavidyalaya, Darapur, District Amravati. I would like to welcome Honorable Chairperson of the first technical session, Honorable Dr. Nitin Mathankar Sir, Principal, Let Vasantrao Kulatkar Mahavidyalaya, Rohna, District Varda. I would like to welcome Honorable Chairperson of the second technical session, Honorable Dr. Anil Dodawar Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Nandanvan, Nagpur. I also welcome Dr. Vijay Kharse, Head of the Department of English, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV. I would like to welcome our colleagues, Dr. Anup Gumbe, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Arts, Commerce and Science College. I will also welcome all the participants, principals of various colleges, professors of various colleges, and researchers, and all my dear students. Now, I take this opportunity to invite our Head of the Department, Professor Dr. Vijay Kharse, to put aims and objective of the conference, and I also request him to introduce keynote speaker, Dr. Anej Somraj. Over to you, Dr. Kharse, sir.
Thank you very much, Neeraj. First of all, I would like to welcome all the dignitaries and researchers, professors, and students to this National E-Conference on Soft Skill Development of Rural UG Students, organized by English Department, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV, District Varda, Maharashtra. Dear friends, in the era of globalization, undergraduate students need to possess professional competencies. Soft skills play an important role in the professional as well as in the personal life. Taking into account this, the Department of English has organized one-day national level in conference so that the rural students may be acquainted with the basic significance of soft skills. And we are very fortunate that we have got Dr. Anish Somra sir as the inaugurator and keynote speaker of this National In Conference. I would like to introduce Dr. Anish Somraj sir. Dr. Anish Somraj has done his MA, MPhil and PhD from EFL University, Hyderabad, and CELTA from University of Cambridge, UK. Presently, he has been working as assistant professor and research guide in Christian College, Changanur, Kerala. Currently, he is on deputation as head of curriculum and NSQF ASAP Kerala. Earlier, he has worked as assistant professor in Faculty of Education, Misrata University, Misrata, Libya. He even worked as an English as a foreign language consultant in King Saud University, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He has published his research papers in the journals like the Journal of Literature and Aesthetics, Activities Update. He was subject expert consultant for HSTTP, an initiative of SCERT Kerala. He worked as course director for ASAP TPS from 2012 to 2018. He was the member of Kerala State Panel of Translators in English and Hindi for Kerala Niyam Sabha. So we are very fortunate that we have got such an eminent personality among us to enlighten us. Now, forward to Neeraj Kende sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I request Dr. Anish Somraj sir to inaugurate the conference and deliver keynote address. Over to you, Dr. Anish sir.
Good afternoon and good morning to each and every one of you. It's a great pleasure that I am here to have a chance to talk to you. And first of all, I would like to express my reverence to the institution which was founded by the founder of this institution. It does a remarkable work in terms of what we do. So with that, I would like to start with kind of an offering my obeisance to the founder of the institution. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Right, thank you. I would like to start with offering my obeisance to the inspiration behind the Krishna Education Society, late Sri Narayan Rao Kelke. I would like to thank the president, the treasurer of the Kelkar Education Society, the principal, Honorable Dr. Kelkar, the various resource persons, and also I would like to thank Dr. Khadse for inviting me so kindly for this particular event. Thank you very much. It's a great honor that I take this mantle of delivering the keynote address. And I appreciate every single individual who is attending this conference for the fact that they have raised a very critical concern, the concern of rural women and their skilling. So as an institution, ASAP, the Additional Skill Acquisition Project of Kerala, we think very seriously about this project, and we are doing all of it possible to change the current scenario. So before I go on to the address, I would like to declare this particular event open, and I would like to thank every one of you who has come for this event and let's make the most of this particular event. This great movement is just a beginning, and from here, we will take things forward. I declare this national conference open.
Thank you, sir.
So now, I'll just try to share the screen. Okay, I hope it's visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Right, thank you very much. So the part about skilling, it's a major concern for all of us. So before we start, I will just like to run you through the present context in which we are working. ASAP is a Government of Kerala owned company, which actually focuses on trying to change the skill system in terms of empowerment through skilling initiatives. So when you're looking at the context, when we see about where do women stand in terms of the present, what we can see is that out of the total illiterate people in the world, 2/3 of them happen to be women. Yes, I'm talking about the women, those who have actually given their lives for making sure that the rest of us succeed. Now, when we look at the scenario, we see that women earn less than 30% of the men in the world. Today, many of us are here. We are attending this conference. We are doing this because someone somewhere, maybe our mothers, sisters, wives, all of them have ensured that we could be here. And so it is our concern to be able to address this issue. Today, when we look at women, we see that most of the women actually in the rural areas lack the means to go for employment. And the reason for that comes towards the part about the education. So empowering women actually makes a big difference. The difference is in terms of what it means. The difference is when you educate a woman, you are changing the world. I will explain. When you educate a woman, it ensures that she has a better chance for employment. When there is a better chance for employment, that means she will be able to actually provide for her children better. The child-infant mortality, which is a very serious threat as we are facing, will drastically be reduced. Child labor, today we know it's one of the greatest crimes that are there, and we still have very limited things to do about it. This problem of child labor can also be reduced. And by educating women, we will be able to provide better healthcare for them. When you provide better healthcare for women, they also ensure that the children are taken care of. Children for the future of the country are better taken care of. And we ensure that they don't go into crime and other dangers of unemployment. Even something as basic as malnutrition, that is not having enough food to eat, even that problem gets taken care of. So when you look at the current scenario, you will find that there is a male dominancy in the productive skills. Whenever you're talking about the labor force in the country or in the global form, you will see that it is mostly male dominated. Currently, if you look at this particular conference itself, that itself is a reminder to us. How many of the participants are women? That is a major question. And I'm glad that this initiative was taken where we actually try to address the problem. To address the problem, it is important that we are able to look at this scenario. Now, when you look at the case of skilling in terms of rural women, a major point is that they need investments. For every problem, we always have the problem of funding. Now, that is a major cause. I know that all of you are from the academics and you all understand how difficult it is to get funding. But remember that funding in terms of women empowerment makes a big difference. What it does is it brings us sustainable development. Now, when I say sustainable development, it is actually trying to make a difference in terms of how effective it is. You educate a woman, a girl in your class in college, she goes on to change not just her life, but also that of her family members. Not just the family members, but also that of the people in that village. That is the difference. By investing in women, we can ensure a sustainable development. Now, when you look at the case about how much has been done in terms of education, we can see that the infant mortality rate is a major problem. That is, children die when they are very young. How do we stop that? We need to identify the reason behind that. One of the reasons is that the access to healthcare. So this is a major concern. How do we provide affordable access to healthcare to women? Like I said, child labor, that's a major issue that we have. We have to try to address that, because if children end up in going for child labor, it creates a major crisis for the country. Remember, as a nation, today we stand at a point where we have major threats, and the country is in a situation where we have threats from other nations. So it is very important that the greatest asset that we have, that is in terms of our population, in terms of the rural women, we should be able to provide them with the support. So it is very important that we provide them with the support so that they become productive and they perform a remunerative work, and they are given managerial and leadership roles. So this is a very important aspect. Now, I'll just like to introduce you to the various programs that are happening in this case. The schemes that are run to actually empower rural women. The foremost among them, which is launched by the government of India, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and the National Literacy Mission. Now, this actually is a real game changer, because we believe that when you are doing the scheme like this, it makes a major difference. The difference is in terms of making education which can reach the remotest of villages. Today, thankfully, we have the best of technology, and here in a rural part of Tamil Nadu, and we are here trying to organize a program whereby we can bring skilling to the women of Tamil Nadu in this space. It's a rural area, but thanks to the technology, we are able to communicate, and we are trying to bring that also into account. So here, we are trying to look at the part about the National Literacy Mission. Now, we might think that having access to education, we do not understand the implications of education. Having access to education in the rural area means the women and the children are able to actually understand many things. Knowledge is power, as they say. The more you know, the better it is. So how do we bring that? So in Kerala, what we did is we launched a service called the Anganwadi services, so that every single district, every single village, every single unit that you have, they are not very far from an Anganwadi. Anganwadi is actually an initiative where you create a space where children can be taken, they can be provided the basics of food every day. The expecting mothers can be provided adequate nutrition. They are provided with the iron tablets, they are provided with medicine and any other thing that require, so that it ensures that the children are born healthy. And once they are born, the children are again taken to these Anganwadis, where they are given constant food supplements, they are given medicines, all to even vaccination programs, all to ensure that they have a better reach. Then we also have the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao movement, which is again launched by the government of India. That's a very noble initiative which actually encourages the role of women in education. The more they are educated, the more they become adept at this. So, in fact, it does have a program launched by the Honorable Prime Minister about actually encouraging people of the country to take up education of their daughters and sisters in this case. So it makes a big difference. And at the global level, we have the United Nations. The UN Women is an organization that is dedicated to gender equality. Like I said, the role of women in workplaces is still very limited. If we look at the national representation in the parliament that we have, जैसे हम विधानसभा में देखते हैं, तो वहाँ पे जो है, if you look at that, you can see that the women empowerment is very, very low there. The number of women MPs and women ministers in the center, thankfully, it is getting better. Today, we have a better representation than we had since 1947. So all this is actually a major achievement that we have. Now, what are the benefits of having these empowerment schemes? These empowerment schemes can make a major difference. One and foremost is actually what we call as social security. So one of the things that we have ensured in Kerala is that we have tried to bring greater support for women. Now, more than ever, the pandemic actually brought that out. Now, as we know, India suffered greatly during the pandemic, and we are still trying to come out of it. Now, the Social Security program ensured that every single woman is having access to a form of Social Security in the form of money that is given to them, which comes directly into their accounts. And that's a very important thing. When the central government launched this project of actually bringing the Jan Dhan accounts, one thing it ensured was that the money would directly reach the person concerned. There would not be any case of actually the money being lost in any way. So it ensured that the money reached the deserving, which is a major achievement. Opening of bank accounts for all women and men makes a significant difference. It makes them a part of the digital workforce. Now, one of the factors that they did was actually to give advanced training related to skills. Now, the idea is that when you give them training in skills, that can actually bring about an increase in the earning opportunities. The more you give them in terms of skilling, it ensures that they get access to a means of livelihood. There was a project which was run in Afghanistan, where India decided to support Afghanistan in many ways. Unlike countries like United States, which supports in terms of military and other powers, India did something exceptional. Yes, what they did was they developed a project to train the grandmothers in the villages of Afghanistan. So you train the grandmothers in building emergency solar lamps. That was a project. So they trained the grandmothers to build solar lamps because, like I said, it's a country which is very remote and it does not have access to electricity. So what happened was that because there is no access to electricity, most of the children could not study because during the daytime, they have to go with various things like looking after the cattle, looking after the needs of the house. So they don't get time to study. The only time available is that in the evening, but at the evening, there is no power. So the idea was to train grandmothers who will go back to their villages and then they will teach the children, especially the girls, actually how to make solar lamps. So slowly, this ensured that in the evenings they had light, and that meant that they could do things like studies, which meant that they could learn and eventually bring a change in their villages. That is the role that India has played. That is the role that India has actually made so much of difference. That is the reason why India is highly valued by the people of what difference we can make as educators. Now, we also have another aspect about the working women. Why is that many working women do not stop their employment? They cannot do that because they have children and children need to be taken care of. The husbands may have to go to work, and if the women or the wives decide to go to work, they can't take care of the children. So that is where we make a big difference. We provide a system of actually having a daycare facilities so that the women, before going for employment, they can leave the children there. They can, without any worries, carry on their work and then come back in the evening, take the children with them. Small distances like this make a major difference. So it means that in every house, the income is doubled. The husband and the wife's income are there. So doubling of income, which means better conditions for the children, better education for them, and in long term, khushhali for all. That is how we look at that. So what do we do? I mean, I just like to talk about the kind of work that we have been doing. ASAP Kerala is a government company. We focus on enhancing employability and designing exclusive industry-led skill training ecosystem. We started in 2012 with the funding of the World Bank. It was a 1,000 crore establishment at that point of time. The government of Kerala understood the need to actually develop skilling. So in 2012, with the support of the World Bank, we started a project with 300 crores from the government of Kerala and 700 crores from the World Bank, and we started the project. Over the years, we have managed to train more than 2.5 lakh students. We have partnerships with 1,477 institutions. We have 126 skill development centers, which are spread all across Kerala. And we have the ability to reach each and every single village. We have the access for that. We have with us more than 2,744 trainers. And in addition to that, we have a community skill park, which is there are 16 of them. they are major initiatives which actually help to bring the industry in connection with the academics and also with the general population. We are active in more than 18 sectors. We offer around 86 courses, which are spread across all these sectors. So automotive, banking, and finance. So as you know, these are two sectors which employ a significant number in different parts of the country. So we train them in these two sectors. Chemicals and petrochemicals. So for example, one of the skill parks that we have, it is dedicated to actually the chemicals and petrochemical sector. It is run by CIPET, the Central Institute for Plastics Engineering and Technology. We run courses for civil and design. We know that India is actually now going through a major infrastructure build-up, as a result of which we need lots and lots of trained people. So major initiatives which are happening in Uttar Pradesh or in Chhattisgarh or in these parts, they all need trained people. And what we're trying to do is bring women into this workforce. I know that conventionally the engineering was mainly a male bastion. They were only male engineers. But we are trying to change that. We are trying to bring women into as a technician in rural urban areas will witness the development of electronic vehicles, and this means a significant workforce is needed, and we train them now. So I'm sure that all of us have used electric vehicles. They will need the trained manpower, which we are making today. Electronics, food processing, healthcare. Now in healthcare, we understand the pandemic made us very clear that we need a very strong healthcare manpower. In this case, a human power actually. So we have been the forefront. We have developed courses like General Duty Assistant and General Cares Assistant, which are all NSQF aligned, which is the National Skill Qualification Framework. We've aligned them there, and we ensured that the state of Kerala will be able to support the rest of the country in terms of the healthcare needs. We can train any number of people depending on the requirements of each state. We have courses in IT-enabled services, language development and life skills, legal, media and entertainment, rubber, sports, tourism, and hospitality. Now, there are reasons for that. As a state that depends a lot on tourism industry, it's a very small state of ours, but we are very proud of our culture and our traditions. And we showcase that, and we are able to bring in significant revenue into the state in terms of the tourism and the tourists who are welcome to come in. So we have trained people in that sector as well. These are some of the honors and accolades that we have gathered over the years. The Niti Aayog recognized ASAP Kerala as the best practice in skilling in 2017. And later on, we were awarded the best for gap implementation in Development Bank. And the last one being that in the India Skills Report, which is brought out by the CII, the Wheelbox India Skills Report for 2022, ASAP has given a special mention as for its multi-pronged approach in skilling development. And for the first time, we were able to participate in this India Skills Report, and we ensured that the state of Kerala became the third state in the country. So this shows that the initiatives can be possible in any part of the country, and we believe in making that difference. Our programs always have an upper hand in terms of the share of the female candidates, especially from rural Kerala. We have great pride that we have empowered our women to be in the forefront, right beside us, and even to lead us. So these are some of the initiatives that we have taken up for that. The one is Fee Skills. Now, these are courses which are run exclusively for women, because we believe that the role of women is only by giving them greater control. And for that, we train them in various skills, even something like financial literacy. Now, for example, in your homes, who files the income tax? Who pays the electricity bill? Who operates the net banking account? It's always the men. Now, even in the case of working women, you'll see that most of them give these skill set, like the financial or the technological literacy skills, into the hands of the men. We believe in changing that. We have developed financial literacy modules and IT literacy modules, which equip the women of Kerala to actually run our programs. We take great pride in the fact that even ISRO, which is in Kerala, we have as a significant number of women engineers. In fact, some of the launches which were conducted, they were exclusively run by women. So that's the kind of a pride that we take in our training our women workforce. We have a program called Connective, where we actually encourage women who have married and have taken a break. We train them, we encourage them to take up employment again, so that instead of just becoming a part of involving in domestic work, we encourage them to take up employment at the same time. We have a program called Vayana Shala. It is actually a program to bring women and libraries together. And while doing that, we bring them in connection with the industry. We train them with companies like EY and Salesforce so that they can make a major difference. We have a Reboot Kerala Hackathon, which is primarily talking about how to bring women into IT workforce. Let's tell you a little bit about the She Skills. It's about women above the age of 50. And the object is to make them economically self-sufficient, so that even at the age of 15, when they are still in colleges, they have enough money to decide the course of their life. We believe that independence comes only through financial independence. Even in the urban areas, women talk about independence, but how does independence come if she doesn't have the money? So we offer 23 courses in 11 job sectors across Kerala. More than 5,000 students gain admissions in 191 different batches that we are running. So that's the scale that we work on. Now, I'll just share one of the instances. This is Mrs. Sonia. She comes from a very small town in Kerala called Kozhikode. She enrolled in the She Skills program. Now, as a homemaker who had a child who was suffering from cerebral palsy, she was what we would call conventionally the idea about a Abala Nari. We wanted to change that. How do you make a woman strong? And that is where we encouraged her, this mother of two, one of them being affected by cerebral palsy, to come back. And we trained her in a craft bakery course. And today, with many other Sonias like her, she has changed her life. She has her own shop and she runs her own bakery and she's independent. She's been able to take care of 2 children and also become a significant member of her community. This is the part that we have helped to make. So we believe that we can build more Sonias like her. The next one that we have is what we would call the Reboot Hackathon. Now, this is our Honorable Chief Minister leading from the front the need for skilling. What the Chief Minister believed was that why should the IT industry be exclusively held by the men? Why can't women come in? Unlike many other states, in terms of the male-female ratio, we have more women than men. And we believe in empowering them. We believe in giving them all the opportunities that can be possible. So in this program, we actually ensured that the women can be trained in the IT skills. So what we did was we tried to bring them into part of the mainstream governance. How did we do that? Well, we had 2,000 teams from various colleges across the state who participated. Only criterion being that a minimum of 2 female participants must be in a team of 6. So by ensuring a 1/3 representation in every team, we ensured that there's a major part. Now this is the prize, this is a photograph of the prize winners. You can see that there are equal number of men and women, or boys and girls in this case. This was a 36-hour contest on hardware and software fixtures, and it was on different teams. So the idea is to bring them closer by more active participation. And that has been only possible because of the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister and his belief that skilling is a major need of the hour. A program that we have is what we would call the Connect to Work program. What we do is we partnered with Kudumbashri. Kudumbashri is a women's collective that operates in every single panchayat of Kerala. All the women in the panchayat are connected through this collective. And after the floods of Kerala, which was a very devastating floods, we partnered with them and we developed the idea of program called the Rebuild Kerala. We focused on skill development of rural unemployed women. Now, after the great floods, we had a major challenge, and that is why we believe that the only way to kickstart the economy to solve the problem is to bring about skill development. Now, what we did was we offered training programs to graduates, postgraduates, polytechnic diploma holders, and ITI holders below the age of 35. So the program actually helped to bring most of them in connection with the world around them. The tutoring that was received actually helped many, like for example here, this is Miss Amrita. She's a resident of Anchal Panchayat. She's a BCom graduate. We encouraged her to develop the skills that are through our training, and she decided to set up an online boutique called the Castle Black. And today, this particular business is doing immensely well. She has her own online portal, and she's able to sell the products online, and she's even giving employment to others. So you see how the skilling system has made a difference. To somebody who's dependent on government for support, they have reached a point when they are giving employment to others. So that, I believe, is a major change that we can bring about. Now, the technology sector also goes through major changes. One of them is to widen the employment gambit of the rural women through gig economy. The reality is that government jobs are fast getting reduced. And it may be possible that we are talking about gig economy, whereby you work for a certain time and you take multiple jobs. It is no longer possible that you can have one job for your entire day. I know, like for example, my parents were in these government services. They got into a job, they worked, and they retired. That is over. It is soon changing. Now we talk about the gig economy, where you take up several jobs from time to time. Small jobs, which will pay you, we work for 3 months, and then you move to the next job. So what we did was actually trying to improve the career opportunities of diploma holders. Like I said, we work at all levels. Even in the case of diploma holders, we try to bring them. Now, what we did was try to bring them to the micro skills for operations in the cloud technology, code-based and no-code operations. We also provide them a major advantage that we have is we have an internship program with multinational corporations. So these women from rural areas are given a chance to work in the multinational corporations across Canada. And this gives them a great exposure. It makes them believe that even they can work in a company of that kind, maybe with EY or UST Global, any of these companies, they can work well. And even a company like Amazon. Now, we have tried to bring about major changes. We believe in actually bringing every new skill even before the industry needs it. And for that, we also ensure that the latest of courses are brought down to every single individual. For example, we work with NABARD to actually bring graphic designer courses to the NABARD. I believe all of you know that works with the rural. Hello, am I audible?
Due to technical problems.
Sir, now you are audible. Hello.
Okay. So far I was not audible.
No. Now you are audible.
Okay. So we focused on the rural women. Now we believe that even a new course like graphic designer can actually be taught to rural women. So we offer the course to 116 rural women candidates. Now the way we designed it is to make it accessible. We ensured that we had a 50% subsidy with the support of the state government. Now, the one difference that we have is that all the courses that we offer, they don't function on subsidies. There's a fee component. So we believe that unless there is a fee, people would not consider it as an active investment. जो मुफ्त में देते हैं, उसके लिए कोई भाव नहीं होता. The same thing applies here. We believe in actually making the courses in such a way that there is a certain investment on the part of the learners as well. So they understand the value of it and they would be able to use that better. Now, I will just introduce our venture. It's called the Community Skill Park. We have 14 districts in Kerala, and we have built 16 community skill parks. In every district, we have a skill park, and some where there are industries, we have more than one. Now, these are advanced multi-skilling centers. These are they are having the best of facilities that you can give in terms of the skilling. Now, what we do is to enhance the employability of the educated job aspirants. We have a large number of educated unemployed, which is a contrast to many other states. So our challenges are more. So what we do is we have this facility with is around 25,000 to 30,000 square feet with state-of-the-art facilities, and we offer the infrastructure to give skilling training of global standards. For example, the one that we have in Ernakulam, that is actually run by a company based in Singapore. So this is a Singapore company which comes to Kerala. They train the rural women in a variety of skill sets, and the quality of training is the same thing that is offered in Singapore. So the best quality of training made available in Singapore is available to the women in the most rural or interior parts of Kerala. So we believe that the quality of training will make the difference. How do we do this? Now, we do this by actually bringing a network between the academics and the industry. Because without the academics, we cannot go forward. Most of the faculty members have great years of experience, and they are highly talented, and they are very hardworking. But it is only available to the children of that college or the students of that college. What we believe is that the expertise of the faculty members should reach out to an audience. And I believe that Dr. Kharse's college would definitely be playing a very important role in actually lending its services and expertise of the faculty members and the institution to really changing the part about the skilling for rural women. Now, what happens is we work with the faculty members and we try to develop tailor-made industry-relevant courses under the four areas. Now, one of the things that we do is actually we work in four broad categories. One is heavy machinery, precision machinery, activity, and IT. So these are the four areas that where we develop courses in the community skill parks. So, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the community skill park that we have. This is the facility that we have. It's in a place called Kulakada, where we give them professional certificates in artisanal bakery course. And it's truly a premium academy for anyone interested in learning and honing their skills in the field of bakery and culinary skills. Now, the reason why we do that is because we believe that as a state which does not have too many of heavy industries, but we focus on tourism and other sectors which are the green sectors, we believe that we will be able to develop courses which can help women like Reshma George. In this case, she comes from Pathanamthitta, and she was a housewife who believed that she could cook very well. Now, she wanted these skills to be made available to making products which can be enjoyed by people all across Kerala. So, by training with her, by training with us, we were able to get her to hone her skills and develop the bakery products of a global standard. So this is her right after our training from our community skill park. So she says that this is mainly possible because of the work of the faculty members who will guide her, and they challenge you to be creative and think out of the box. So even in a rural place, actually, she was able to think about how it can be, how these products can be made and actually even delivered to homes. Now, this is delivery without Swiggy or any of these other platforms. So this is about women who get together, they form their own collective, they make the products which are really best in the field, and some of them just like the best in the market, and they come at 1/3 of the cost, and it is even home delivered. So anything that is possible in a urban area, the kind of facilities that then in a city, that is also possible in a village. So all these things are possible through training, and we believe that it's all about empowering them, and that will bring the part of it. So I would just like to wind up and say that ASAP Kerala works for the creation of an ecosystem of empowerment by skilling. We promote a culture of innovation based on entrepreneurship to enhance self-efficiency.
Thank you for this.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Okay. So we promote a culture of innovation based on entrepreneurship to enhance self-sufficiency. It will help to boost the economy and ensure sustainable livelihood for all. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, what we offer in terms of the skill program and initiative in Kerala. And I would be very happy to, say that this conference should be a beginning to launch programs and training programs in the rest of the country to promote employment for women. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us on empowerment of women and benefit of skilling rural women. Now, I request the chairperson of the session, please enlighten us with your speech. I invite Professor Dr. H.R. Verulkar, sir, to address us.
Good morning and warm welcome to everyone. Am I audible?
Sir, you are audible.
Am I? Yes, yes.
Yes.
Our inspiration, late N.R. Kale, founder, Krishna Education Society, chief patron for this national level e-conference on soft skill development for rural UG students, Honorable Advocate D.N. Kale, President, Krishna Education Society, RV, Honorable Advocate Shobhatai Kale, Treasurer, Krishna Education Society. Our keynote speaker, Honorable Dr. Anej Somraj, Head, Curricula and NSQF, ASAP, Kerala. Our resource person, Honorable Dr. Sheetal Taide, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of English, Ram Krishna Mahavidyalaya, Dharapur. Chairpersons of technical sessions, Honorable Dr. Nitin Mathankar, Honorable Dr. Anil Dogewar, convener of this e-conference, Dr. V.M. Khadse, Head, Department of English, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV. Organizing secretaries are Dr. A.V. Gumbre, Department of English, Dr. N.P. Kende, Department of English. All dignitaries, teachers, researchers, and students participating in this e-conference, I personally congratulate and welcome you all once again. Friends, economic liberalization has made Indian market more global. Human capital is the best judge of the economic and sustainable development of any country. The intellectual and skillful citizens are indeed the powerful strength of any country. Despite the enormous growth of technical and management education system and enhanced capacity of conventional disciplines in emerging fields over the last 5.5 decades, India continues to reel under the pressure of quality talent in the job market. Though Indians are very competent with technical skills, global competitiveness is still unachieved, and hence the compelling need for understanding the potential market necessities, soft skill training like managerial training, team leadership, outbound training, executive training, and corporate leadership training is needed. According to the census of 2011, 430 million people in India are in the age group of 15 to 35 years, which we call youth, and constitutes near about 35% of the total population. By 2020, India is expected to have surplus of 56 million youth, while the rest of the world faces the shortage of 47 million. Seeing above scenario of the world, the bottom line is that in India, individual skills need to be upgraded continuously. There is a continuum of skills that are required in an economy. Friends, soft skills are cluster of personality traits, social graces, facility with languages, personal habits, friendliness, and optimism that makes people to varying degrees. It is a combination of personal qualities, interpersonal skills, and additional skills knowledge. It provides a competitive edge in today's competitive job market. Now the question is that how do we acquire soft skills? Soft skills training can be acquired using lectures, using projects, using role playing, quizzes, and other participative seminars. It is first is on learning by doing. Friends, our eminent and well-known keynote speaker, Dr. Somraj, have clearly focused on women empowerment, considering especially rural women, because women are the 50% of the total population and indeed a need of empowerment. He also focused on some sub-themes like communication, leadership, career management, professional attitude, time management, presentation skill, professional writing, digital literacy, work ethics, and group discussion, especially in concern with women. I hope rest of the sub-themes will be covered in the technical session 1 by our well-known resource person. And I say thanks and over to Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us. Whenever I listen to the speeches of our principals, I remember a quote from Italian philosopher Cicero. He wisely said, "Brevity is a great charm of elegance." Thank you very much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Now, I request Professor Dr. Vijay Kharse, sir, to propose a vote of thanks for the inaugural session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you very much again. First of all, I again welcome all the dignitaries and researchers and students to this inaugural function of this National Conference on Soft Skill Development of students organized by Department of English, Art, Commerce, Science College, RV District, Wardha, Maharashtra. First of all, I express my thankfulness to the chairperson of this inaugural function, Dr. H.R. Vedulkar sir, for sparing his valuable time to this conference and sharing his valuable views about soft skill development of rural students. Next, I would like to express my gratitude towards Professor Dr. Anesh Somraj sir for participating in this conference as a keynote speaker and inaugurator, and especially focusing on women empowerment and benefits of skilling women. I express my gratitude to Professor Dr. Anesh Somraj sir. Here, I would like to declare that the inaugural function of one-day national level conference on soft skill development of rural students. Now we will move towards to the first technical session. Thank you once again. Over to Henderson.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we are moving to the first technical session of one-day national e-conference on soft skill development. Well, Dan William once said, the aim of education is the knowledge not of but fact but values. It is on occasions like this we get an opportunity to test our knowledge and understanding. We look forward to getting exposure about what is the best brain thinks about correlation between soft skill of students and education. I take an opportunity to welcome Chairperson of the first technical session, Honorable Dr. Nitin Mathankar Sir, Principal late Vasantrao Kolatkar, Mahavidyalay, Rona. I welcome you, sir. Once again, I welcome resource person of the first technical session, Dr. Sheetal Babu Taide, Assistant Professor and Head of English Department, Ramakrishna Mahavidyalay, Darapur District, Amravati. I request Honorable Dr. Nitin Mathankar Sir to chair the session, sir. I request Professor Anup Gumre Sir to welcome the chairperson and resource person of the first technical session and give a brief introduction of Dr. Nitin Mathankar Sir and Dr. Sheetal Babu Taide. Over to you, sir. Gumre Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. This is a great day and it's an opportunity for all of us to enlighten our rural undergraduate students. As the speakers in the first session, Dr. Anesh Somraj and Professor Dr. Haribhav Verulkar have spoken a lot about soft skills. I take the opportunity to welcome the chairperson of this first technical session in which we are going to know more about soft skill development of the rural UG students. Here we are enlightened to have the chairperson of this session as Dr. Nitin G. Mathankar sir. He is the principal of late Vasantrao Kolatkar Arts College, Rohna, since last 12 years. He has the teaching experience of in all 26 years. He was the board of studies member for consecutively 2 terms at Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj Nagpur University, Nagpur. He was also the faculty member and academic member of Rashtrasanta Tukadoji Maharaj Nagpur University for 2 consecutive terms. In 2013, he was made research supervisor at the university, and up till now 3 students have been awarded under his able guidance. Presently, it's an honor to have him as the member of statute committee of the Nagpur University. It is a very prestigious post for all the members of the academia. He had organized many national and state level conferences. He had chaired at many conferences as a chairperson. Under his able guidance, his college has achieved 2.19 CGPA by NAC Bengaluru. His area of interest is Indo-Anglian literature. We are thankful to him for having accepted our invitation to be the chairperson of this first technical session. Now, I take the opportunity to introduce all of you our resource person, Dr. Sheetal Babu Ambadas ji Taide. He has completed 12 years of teaching at Ramakrishna Mahavidyalaya. Before that, 10 years he had worked at the school. He has passed set examination. He has completed MPhil and PhD degree from Nagpur, from Amravati University. He has completed many training programs and he is a great orator. He has completed a research project on critical study of Chetan Bhagat's novels, WRO UGC Pune. He has published more than 23 research papers in UGC referred journals. He had written more than 14 papers in international conferences and seminars. 21 research papers are published in the various conferences and seminars. One book has been published, and the most important, he has delivered 27 invited talks at various places. He has judged at the various competitions, and he is also the member of various professional organizations like life member of All India English Teachers Association. He is a subject expert of InfluMnet Ahmedabad. He is the member of Association of English Literary Studies, AELS. He has also administrative experience. He is the IQSC coordinator of Ramakrishna Mahavidyalaya, and he is also appointed as the coordinator of Daryapur Taluka, nominated by Joint Director of Higher Education Amravati. He is coordinator of IQSC, NAC, MIS, AISHE, NIRF, Atal ranking. By many colleges, he is invited to deliver a talk as IQSC expert. He is a member of Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University 33rd Annual Report Committee for the academic year 2015 and 16. It's a great pleasure to have him with us to deliver his thoughts, to express his ideas and views about soft skills. I welcome you, Dr. Sheetal Taide. I hope your words of enlightenment and knowledge will give immense knowledge and pleasure to the rural students. Over to you, Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Sheetal Babu Taide, sir, to enlighten the audience with his worthy words. I welcome you, sir. Dr. Sheetal Taide, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning to one and all. Education societies. Am I audible? Can you, sir?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, Gumre sir want to say something.
Yes.
My request is that, sir, majority of students, they are from rural background, and it will be a pleasure if you use two languages, especially Marathi or Hindi, in between. That will be helpful. Sir. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. Once again, very warm good morning. Krishna Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College, RB, has organized this one-day national e-conference on soft skill development of rural UG students. Being a speaker of technical session 1, first of all, I would like to pay my homage to inspiration of this institution, like Narayan Rao Kade, who is the founder of this Krishna Education Society. Also, I pay my due respect to President, Honorable Advocate Dilip Rao Kade sir, Treasurer, Honorable Advocate Shobhatai Kade Madam, Honorable Principal of this college, under whose leadership this program is organized, Honorable Dr. Haribhav Verudkar sir, the technical session resource person, chairperson, Honorable Dr. Nitin Mathankar sir, who is principal of late Vasantrao Koladkar Arts College, Rohana. My friend, who is the chairperson for second technical session, Dr. Anil Dodevar sir. Along with, I would like to thank convener of this e-conference, Dr. VM Khadse sir, who is the head of the department, and my dear friend, Dr. Anup, along with organizing secretary, Dr. Neeraj Kende sir. They are all students, all academicians who have joined this one-day National E-Conference on Soft Skill Development of Rural Students. So I welcome you all, and I thank to the organizers as well. Before proceeding to my major theme, I would like to share my screen. Neeraj sir, can you allow me, please?
Screen sharing allowed. I think you are allowed.
Shall I share?
Yeah.
It's taking a little bit time.
No worries, sir. It's visible.
Okay, sir. So, dear friends, when we turn towards the soft skill development, two concepts hover in our mind. दोन concept आपल्या मनामध्ये राहतात, soft skill आणि development. And when we look for a development, what comes in our mind? आता माणसाच्या इतिहासापासून आपण जर बघत गेलो तर अनेक प्रकारचे डेव्हलपमेंट झाले. म्हणजे साधा एज्युकेशन मध्ये जर मेजर डेव्हलपमेंट म्हणाल तर आधी प्रौढ शिक्षण होतं. Why it is outdated? It is outdated due to the development. Development of what? Technological development झाली. त्यानंतर एनरोलमेंट रेशो ऑफ द स्टुडंट टू द स्कूल हा एनहान्स झाला. त्यामुळे साहजिकच लिटरसी रेट वाढला. तर अशा ह्या अकॅडमिक डेव्हलपमेंट ह्युमन बिंगच्या झाल्या. परंतु एक जनरल कन्सेप्ट मध्ये आपण जेव्हा डेव्हलपमेंट हा कन्सेप्ट मनात घेतो तेव्हा आपल्या मनामध्ये अनेक प्रश्न निर्माण होतात. आणि साहजिकच विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये डेव्हलपमेंट जेव्हा हा चर्चेचा विषय किंवा एखाद्या वेळी हा विषय निघतो तेव्हा ह्युमन बिंगची डेव्हलपमेंट हे त्यांच्या मनामध्ये येतं की पर्सनॅलिटी डेव्हलपमेंट म्हणजेच तुमची पर्सनॅलिटी म्हणजे तुमची हाईट असावी, तुमचं लुक चांगलं असावं किंवा तुमचे कपडे चांगले असावेत किंवा माणसाची खूप प्रगती झाली म्हणजे नेमकं काय झालं. तर आधीपासून आतापर्यंत जो त्या पहिल्या अवस्थेमध्ये होता म्हणजे आकडाच्या अवस्थेमधून मानवाची प्रगती झाली तर याला डेव्हलपमेंट म्हणता येईल का? नाही. मग डेव्हलपमेंट कंप्राइज काय होतं म्हणजे कशाला एक कॉम्बिनेशन डेव्हलपमेंटचं असतं. ते कॉम्बिनेशन मीन्स व्हॉट? इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ नॉलेज, स्किल अँड ॲटिट्यूड. आणि भरपूर सोशल, इंटेलेक्च्युअल, सायकोलॉजिकल, स्पिरिच्युअल ह्या सर्व गोष्टी एकत्रितपणे याचा एक कंबाईन एक ऑरा बनतो आणि तो ह्युमन बिंगच्या पर्सनॅलिटीमध्ये येतो. आणि जेव्हा मग जडीस्थळी काष्टी पाषाणी वागणुकीचा जेव्हा प्रत्येक वेळी आपला कयास लागतो त्यावेळी तुमचे हे सुप्त गुण प्रदर्शित होत असतात, डेव्हलप होत असतात, ते लोकांसमोर येत असतात. आणि हे कन्सेप्ट तुमच्यामध्ये असणं त्याला म्हणतात डेव्हलपमेंट. आता तुमच्या मनामध्ये कधीतरी प्रश्न आलेत का? साहजिकच विद्यार्थी असतील याला जॉईंट की आपण स्वतः कोण आहोत किंवा आपण कशामध्ये एक्सपर्टाईज आहोत किंवा आपले विकनेसेस काय आहेत किंवा आपण कशाला घाबरतो, आपल्या स्ट्रेंथ कोणत्या आहेत, आपली आंतरिक इच्छा कोणती आहे, आपण शिक्षण घेतोय तर पुढे कशासाठी जातो. या कॉलेजने सॉफ्ट स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट वरती रुरल स्टुडंट करते ही कॉन्फरन्स अरेंज केली. व्हॉट इज द मोटो ऑफ दिस कॉन्फरन्स? फक्त प्रोग्राम अरेंज करणे हा हेतू नाही. तर तुम्हाला ह्या स्किल्स माहीत असायला पाहिजे. कारण जसं प्रिन्सिपल सरांनी स्पीच मध्ये सांगितलं की ग्लोबल मार्केट हॅज ओपन द एव्हेन्यूज फॉर एम्प्लॉयमेंट. अत्यंत महत्वाचं वाक्य सर बोलले प्रिन्सिपल सर. कारण एव्हेन्यूज ग्लोबल मार्केट तुमच्यासाठी ओपन झालं, कुणालाही तिथे एंट्री नाही. एंट्री चाळणी लावून केल्या जाते आणि चाळणी लागताना तुमचे सॉफ्ट स्किल हे जज केले जातात. त्याकरिता ही कॉन्फरन्स या ठिकाणी अरेंज केली. आणि याची आवश्यकता काय आहे? आधी असं असायचं की बाबा तुम्ही टॉपर आहात, मेरिट आहात म्हणून यू विल बी द बेस्ट पर्सन फॉर द पोझिशन. आता ते राहिलेलं नाहीये. आताचा कन्सेप्ट असा आहे की हाऊ यू डील विथ द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन युअर सेल्फ अँड विथ द ऑर्गनायझेशन. सिम्प्लिसिटीने करता की कॉम्प्लेक्स वेने करता. ह्युमन अंडरस्टँडिंग किती आहे याच्यावरती तुमचं ट्रीटमेंट, तुमची प्रोग्रेस, तुमचा एनहान्समेंट, तुमची वाढ आणि तुमचं अस्तित्व हे डिपेंड असतं. लिटरेचरने एक सर्वे केलेला आहे, रिटर्न लिटरेचरचा सर्वे आहे की 2 प्रकारचे स्किल्स असतात, हार्ड स्किल आणि सॉफ्ट स्किल. जसं कॉम्प्युटरमध्ये हार्डवेअर आणि सॉफ्टवेअर असतं. हार्डवेअर मीन्स तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, सॉफ्टवेअर म्हणजे पण माहिती आहे, सांगायची आवश्यकता नाही. परंतु ह्युमन बिंग मध्ये सुद्धा सॉफ्ट स्किल आणि हार्ड स्किल असतात. तुम्हाला एखादा बटन बसवता येत असेल, प्रेस करता येत असेल, सायकल चालवता येत असेल, 4 व्हीलर चालवता येत असेल, दिस इज हार्ड स्किल. बरं, व्हॉट आर द सॉफ्ट स्किल? सॉफ्ट स्किल मीन्स जे दिसत नाही. जसा फुलाचा वास तुम्हाला दिसत नाही, तसेच हे सॉफ्ट स्किल दिसत नाहीत परंतु ते असतात. आणि असं म्हटलं जातं की माणसाचं व्यक्तिमत्व बनलेलं आहे त्याच्यामध्ये 85%, मी हे कॉन्फिडेंटली सांगतो कारण रिसोर्सवरनं हे आकडा मी घेतलेला आहे, 15% फक्त तुमचे जनरल स्किल असतात परंतु 85% स्किल हे सॉफ्ट स्किल असतात. वेन वी डील विथ अवर सेल्फ, with the individuals, with the friends, with the society, with the relatives, with the jobs, with any sector. तर मग याच्यावरनं आपण एक अंदाज काढू शकतो की सॉफ्ट स्किल मीन्स तुमची बौद्धिक, मानसिक, शारीरिक, भावनिक आणि सामाजिक कौशल्य. आता हे कौशल्य कुठे लिखित नसतात. इथं गेलं म्हणजे असं वागायचं, हा बोलला म्हणजे असं बोलायचं नाही. इट इज अ इनबिल्ट स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ युअर इंडिव्हिज्युअल. आणि ते अभ्यास केल्यानं येत नाही तर त्याचे ट्रेनिंग घ्यावे लागतात. जसं प्रिन्सिपल सरांनी बोललेत की अनेक प्रकारचे हे ट्रेनिंग असतात. एक दिवसाच्या कॉन्फरन्समुळे तुम्ही आज परफेक्ट सॉफ्ट स्किल तुमच्या डेव्हलपमेंट होणार नाही. यू हॅव टू बी कंटिन्युअस एनहान्स दॅट ऑल एंटायर स्किल्स. आता एका जर्नलच्या म्हणण्यानुसार सॉफ्ट स्किल म्हणजे काय, मी तुम्हाला आधी सांगितलं की ह्या सर्व कंप्राइज ज्या काही घटना किंवा ज्या काही एलिमेंट्स आहेत त्या तुम्हाला सॉफ्ट स्किल डेव्हलप करण्यात मदत करतात. परंतु सॉफ्ट स्किल म्हणजे आपल्याला 1 लाईन मध्ये सांगायचं झाल्यास तर तुमचे क्लस्टर ऑफ पर्सनॅलिटी ट्रेट्स. प्रत्येकाचं व्यक्तिमत्व वेगळं असतं. काही एकदम अराजक असतो, काही शांतता प्रिय असतो, काही भावनिक असतो, काही आताही असतो. सामाजिक ग्रेस, सोशल ग्रेस मीन्स कुणी समाजामध्ये लोकप्रिय असतो, कुणी भाषेत प्रभुत्व असते, कुणाच्या पर्सनल हॅबिट्स एकदम वेगळ्या असतात की जे तुम्हाला पटत नाही, कोणी एकदम फ्रेंडली असतो, कोणी एकदम आशावादी असतो. तर ह्या सर्व गट्स हा एका पर्सनॅलिटीमध्ये आणून आपण सामाजिक आपला आरसा चांगला डेव्हलप करणे आणि ती डेव्हलपमेंट सॉफ्ट स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट. आता आपण बघा, माणसं ग्रेट झालीत मित्र. महात्मा गांधी हातात एकही शस्त्र न घेता फक्त जिभेच्या भरोशावरती या माणसाने राष्ट्रपिता ही पदवी मिळवली. नेताजी सुभाषचंद्र बोस यांनी एक मार्ग निवडला परंतु स्वतःचं अस्तित्व तयार केलं. खाली 2 राजकारणी आहेत जे तुल्यबळ आहेत, राजकीय विरोधक असतील त्याशी आपल्याला विषय नाही, परंतु वय पहा आणि त्यांचा प्रोग्रेस बघा. या दोघांच्या हातात कुठले शस्त्र नाहीत, कुठलेही वेपन्स, कुठला अनुभव नाही किंवा कुठलं काही धाक दपट नाही, काही नाही. दे हॅव ओनली देअर लँग्वेज अँड देअर ॲटिट्यूड मीन्स देअर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स. अशा अनेक फील्ड मधले लोक तुम्हाला दिसतील. हे फील्ड बघा, एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम द मॅन, मिसाईल मॅन, देशाचा राष्ट्रपती झाले. विवेकानंद फक्त भगवे कपडे जीवनभर त्यांनी घातले परंतु शिकागो गाजवली. बराक ओबामा ब्लॅक पर्सनॅलिटी, व्हाईटांवरती राज्य केलं. जो बायडेन 80 वर्ष वयाच्या कडे झुकलेला, मला एक्झॅक्ट त्यांची वय नाही सांगता येणार, बट ही इज +75 आय थिंक. या वयात आपल्याकडचे मॅक्सिमम म्हातारे बेडवरती असतात आणि हा माणूस leading to the most powerful country of the world. Why? स्पिरिच्युअल गुरुज बघा, सद्गुरू, दलाई लामा यांनी वाणीवरती स्वतःच्या कमांड मिळवली. माहेश्वरी, चेतन भगत इमिनंट लोक आहेत. सद्गुरू, गौर गोपाल, रघुराम राजन, सीईओ ऑफ गुगल बघा. आणि पर्सनॅलिटी ज्या असतात या पर्सनॅलिटी इथपर्यंत यायला शिवखेरा काय रिझन काय आहे? वाय ठराविकच लोक फेमस का होतात? ठराविकच लोक मीडिया समोर का येतात? ठराविकच मुलं डेव्हलपमेंट जॉब का मिळवतात? बिकॉज दे टूक सम एफर्ट टू बिकम देअर समथिंग डिफरंट रॅदर दॅन द अदर. फिल्म इंडस्ट्री मधले बघा इमिनंट लोक आहे. वाय? त्यांच्या अंगामध्ये कला आहे ही एक वेगळी गोष्ट आहे. परंतु ही स्लाइड घेण्यामागे माझा उद्देश हा होता की प्रत्येक क्षेत्रामध्ये देर आर द पायोनियर्स. अँड वाय दे बिकम द पायोनियर्स? दे बिकम द पायोनियर्स बिकॉज ऑफ देअर ओन इंडिव्हिज्युअल पर्सनॅलिटी डेव्हलपमेंट. त्यांनी डेव्हलप केलेली आहे स्वतःची पर्सनॅलिटी. अँड इट्स अ टाइम टू अवर सेल्फ टू डेव्हलप अवर पर्सनॅलिटी. मग त्याच्यासाठी काय आहे? ही कॉन्फरन्स आहे. आणि कॉन्फरन्स कशावरती आहे? सॉफ्ट स्किल वरती. आणि सॉफ्ट स्किल्स कोणत्या आहेत? अनेक आहेत. लिस्ट जर आपण बघितली ना तर देर आर 65 प्लस सॉफ्ट स्किल्स ऑफ इन ह्युमन बिंग. त्याची मोजदाद करता येत नाही आपल्याला, एवढे सॉफ्ट स्किल आहेत. परंतु या 1 तासामध्ये एवढे सॉफ्ट स्किल आपल्याला एंटवाइंड करणं इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट. सो मेजर आपण घेतले तर हे लिस्ट मी वाचणार नाही. पुढे तुम्हाला इंडिव्हिज्युअल एक समजून देईल. तुम्ही स्क्रीनवरती ती वाचली असेलच. नेक्स्ट ही पण आहे. ह्या पण सॉफ्ट स्किल्स आहे बघा. तुम्ही एक नजर फिरवली तर तुमच्या लक्षात येईल. आणि या सॉफ्ट स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट करताना आपल्याला काय करायला लागेल जेणेकरून वी बिकम अ गुड सिटीजन, वी बिकम अ सोशली अडॉरेबल पर्सनॅलिटीज. बिकॉज द नीड ऑफ द टाइम इज जस्ट टू हॅमर युअर सेल्फ in a great way in order to publish yourself before the society. पहिलं सॉफ्ट स्किल घेऊया आपण, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, ज्याला संभाषण कौशल्य म्हणतात. संभाषण कौशल्य म्हणजे काय? बोलण्याची कला. आता बोलण्याची कला तुम्ही म्हणाल सर मी लहानपणापासून आम्ही बोलतच आलेलो आहोत, किंवा जे टीचिंग फॅकल्टी जॉईंट असतील त्यांनाही माहित असेल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल. पण या कम्युनिकेशन स्किलचे पॅरामीटर जर बघितले तर या पिक्चर मधून तुमच्या लक्षात येईल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल इज नॉट सो सिम्पल. कारण याच्यामध्ये तुमचं बिहेवियर, कन्व्हर्सेशन, प्रेझेंटेशन इथपासनं तुम्ही बोलता कसे, तुमची फेक कशी आहे, तुमचे शब्द उच्चार कसे आहेत, तर तुमची बॉडी लँग्वेज पर्यंत ते पॅरामीटर्स त्याच्यामध्ये इन्क्लूड असतात. आणि हे डेव्हलप करण्याकरिता तुम्हाला सतत कम्युनिकेशन स्किल वरती पॉलिश करावं लागेल. शब्दाचा योग्य उच्चार, कारण बोलताना बरेच जण कम्युनिकेशन करताना त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला काय म्हणायचं आहे हे स्पष्टपणे समोरच्याला इंडिकेट करण्यासाठी पण प्रॉब्लेम होतो. बोलायला जातात काय आणि बोलून बसतात काय आणि अर्थ निघतो काय. आणि इन शॉर्ट कम्युनिकेशन स्किल एनहान्स करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला रीडिंग भरपूर करावं लागेल आणि तुम्हाला डेअरिंग ठेवावं लागेल का आय मस्ट स्पीक बिफोर 2 persons, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 and beyond that. कारण इट इज नॉट अ वन नाईट मिरॅकल, इट इज नॉट अ रॉकेट सायन्स. लहानपणापासून 3 वर्ष आपल्याला भाषा डेव्हलप व्हायला लागतात. अँड अजूनही कोणी असं ठामपणे म्हणू शकत नाही की आय एम द मास्टर ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन स्किल, बिकॉज इनोव्हेशन्स होत असतात, नवनवीन व्होकॅब्युलरीज येत असतात, नवनवीन टर्मिनॉलॉजीज त्याच्यामध्ये इन्क्लूड होत असतात. नेक्स्ट टाइम मित्र, इंटरपर्सनल स्किल. जेव्हा व्यक्तीसोबत आपण डील करतो, अनेक व्यक्ती असतात, वेगवेगळ्या स्वभावाचे व्यक्ती असतात, आणि जेव्हा व्यक्तीसोबत आपण डील करतो इट इज जस्ट लाईक एज अ ड्रायव्हिंग. जसं रस्त्याने चालताना समोरच्याचं वाहन कसं येत आहे, तो आपल्या बाजूला आहे, पायी येणारा मधातच येतो, एखादा जनावर आडवं येतं, तर हे सुद्धा ह्युमन बिईंगच्या बिहेवियर असताना, ह्युमन बिईंग जेव्हा आपण डील करतो तेव्हा अनेकांचा स्वभाव, अनेकांचं व्यक्तिमत्व हे आपल्याला साजेसं नसतं. कधी त्यांचं मत आपल्याला मान्य करून घ्यावं लागतं, और समटाइम्स वी हॅव टू अलाउ हिम टू से व्हॉट एव्हर ही वॉन्टेड टू से इफ यू आर नॉट रेडी विथ हिज व्ह्यूज. त्याला म्हणतात इंटरपर्सनल स्किल. कारण तुम्ही आज द्वेष कराल, उद्या द्वेष कराल, असं किती माणसाचा द्वेष करत जाणार. जे त्याचं पटत नाही ते बाजूला ठेवून जे पटतं तेवढं घ्या. दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज इंटरपर्सनल स्किल. आणि कुठेच तुमच्या मनासारखा माणूस तुम्हाला मिळणार नाही. कुठेच तुमचे व्ह्यूज आणि दुसऱ्यांचे व्ह्यूज दे विल नॉट मॅच in a one click. It will take a time. And once another person came to know about your habits and you come to know about his habits, then there will be a fine tuning between the people. नेक्स्ट आहे अडॅप्टेबिलिटी अँड फ्लेक्झिबिलिटी. या स्लाइड वरती तुम्हाला काहीसं चित्र एकदम वेगळं दिसेल. उंटावर बसलेला माणूस आहे, हातात बॅग आहे, तिथे कोट आहे, आप न्यूजपेपर वाचतोय. द मॅन हू विअर्स द कोट इज एबल टू, और तो फोर व्हीलर मध्ये बसला तरच त्याची योग्यता चांगली दिसेल. पण हे काय आहे? अडॅप्टेबिलिटी मीन्स तुमच्याकडे कधी कधी रिसोर्सेस नसतात, कधी साधनं नसतात. यू हॅव टू अडॅप्ट. यू हॅव टू बी व्हेरी फ्लेक्झिबल. फ्लेक्झिबल म्हणजे आपलं मन मारून नाही म्हणत आहे. यू हॅव टू ऍडजस्ट विथ द सिच्युएशन. अनेक अंशी आपण पॉझिटिव्ह असतो की नाही मला हेच मिळालं पाहिजे, आणि करिअरच्या बाबतीत ठीक आहे तुम्ही अँबिशियस राहा, परंतु वस्तूच्या बाबतीत पॉझिटिव्ह राहू नका. एखाद्या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला जायचं आहे, नाही आपल्याला सूट होत नाही, आपण फोर व्हीलर शिवाय जायचं नाही, किंवा प्रवास करेल तर विमानानेच, पण सिच्युएशन तशा नसल्यात, then you have to adjust yourself and go by auto as well. And flexibility means don't be rigid. All time you try to adapt with the situation. Creative thinking. See, creative thinking means प्रचलित असलेल्या गोष्टी प्रत्येक जण सर्वच करतो, त्या व्यतिरिक्त काहीतरी आपला ठसा उमटवण्यासाठी you have to create something, you have to develop something. आता ते क्रिएटिव्ह थिंकिंग येईल कुठून? It will come through the reading. It will come through the observations. It will come through the thinking. देहरी खाटल्यावरी होत नसते मित्रांनो. We have to create something. आता विद्यार्थ्यांना मार्क्स मिळतात, काही विद्यार्थ्यांना चांगले मार्क्स मिळतात. कारण काय? त्याची आन्सर शीट क्रिएटिव्ह असते. आता त्या क्रिएटिव्हिटी मध्ये कसले आले? क्रिएटिव्हिटी पेजचं पेज असतं, इंक तर इंक असतं, लेटर असतात. नो, लेआउट ऑफ द आन्सर इज व्हेरी डिफरंट. हँड रायटिंग इज व्हेरी डिफरंट. पॉइंट्स तो कशा प्रकारे त्या ठिकाणी पुटअप करतो, दॅट इज ऑल्सो डिफरंट. अँड दॅट डिफरन्स मेक्स हिम क्रिएटिव्ह. तर असं स्वतःच्या व्यक्तिमत्वाचं जर तुम्हाला डेव्हलपमेंट करायचं असेल तर यू हॅव टू बी व्हेरी क्रिएटिव्ह. नेक्स्ट, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रिझोल्युशन. जसं मी आधी म्हटलं इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप, तसं कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रिझोल्युशन पण एक असतं. कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रिझोल्युशन मीन्स अनेकदा अनेक वाद असतात आपल्या दुसऱ्या व्यक्तींसोबत. मला त्याच्याशी बोलायचं नाही, मला माझं त्याच्याशी पटत नाही, किंवा एखाद्या विषयावरती वादविवाद झाला. दॅट यू हॅव टू एंड इन अ हॅपी वे. एव्हरी एंडिंग शुड बी हॅपी एंडिंग. देन अँड ओनली देन यू विल बिकम अ मास्टर अँड पायोनियर ऑफ युअर पर्सनॅलिटी. सतत राग द्वेष मनात घेऊन जर तुम्ही तगलेत तर तुम्ही कुठल्याही कंपनीमध्ये, कुठल्याही सेक्टरमध्ये, कुठल्याही सोसायटीमध्ये तुम्ही स्वतःचं अस्तित्व निर्माण करू शकणार नाही. कारण हे जे सॉफ्ट स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट आहे हे तुम्हाला जॉब ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी देण्यासाठी फायद्याचं आहे. त्याचबरोबर इट विल मेक यू गुड सिटीजन. नेक्स्ट आहे प्रेझेंटेशन स्किल. उत्तम उदाहरण तुम्हाला प्रेझेंटेशन स्किलचं पाहायचं असेल तर तुम्हाला तुमचे टीचर कोणते बेस्ट वाटतात, किंवा तुमच्या नजरेमध्ये जो आयडियल पर्सनॅलिटी आहे, जो सतत लिटरेचरच्या बेसवरती कुठे लेक्चर देत असतो, किंवा वर्ल्ड लीडर्स असतील ते स्वतःला कसे प्रेझेंट करतात. बघा, वर्ल्ड लीडर असतील, साध्या ड्रेसवरती एखादी शॉल कोणी पांघरून असतो, किंवा आज मीच बसलो तर मी स्वतः एक जॅकेट घातलं. स्वतः तारीफ म्हणून नाही म्हणत आहे, बट इट इज अ नीड ऑफ अ टाइम. वाय? Because it's a program. You have to be highlight yourself, and for the highlight, your presentation should be different. मी काहीतरी वेगळा आहो हे सतत दाखवण्याची गरज नाही, परंतु जेव्हा तुम्हाला प्रेझेंटेशन द्यायचं असते, जेव्हा तुम्हाला स्वतःला प्रेझेंट करायचं असते, दॅट टाइम युअर अटायर, युअर प्रेझेंटेशन शुड बी डिफरंट. लग्नामध्ये बघा, पूर्ण वराळ्याचे कपडे वेगळे असतात, नवरदेवाचे वेगळे असतात. वाय? इट इज अ सोशल प्रेझेंटेशन. नवरी वेगळी असते, सर्वच त्या नवरीच्या वेशामध्ये आले तर तुम्ही आयडेंटिफाय करू शकणार नाही. हा झाला पेहराव. आणि प्रेझेंटेशन करत असताना यू हॅव टू बी व्हेरी पिक्युलियर, व्हेरी टिपिकल. कारण इट इज नॉट व्हॉट वी कॅन से ऍक्टिव्हिटी ऑफ अ पर्टिक्युलर स्पॅन. 2 दिवसात शिकलो आणि प्रेझेंटेशन आम्ही करू शकत. नो, यू हॅव टू पॉलिश युअर सेल्फ अगेन अँड अगेन अँड अगेन. पहिल्यांदा चुका होतात, दुसऱ्यांदा त्या सावरायच्या, तिसऱ्यांदा त्याच्यामध्ये ऍडिशन करायचं, चौथ्यांदा मास्टरी मिळवण्याचा प्रयत्न करायचा. 5व्यांदा तुम्ही स्वतःचं अस्तित्व आपलं चांगलं होत आहे की नाही याचा विचार करायचा. 6व्यांदा त्याच्यामध्ये काय त्रुट्या आहेत त्या पूर्ण करायच्या. 7व्यांदा तुम्ही पुढला विचार करायचा की याच्यापेक्षा मोठा प्लॅटफॉर्म मला कुठे मिळेल. 8व्यांदा तुम्ही विचार करायचा का या प्लॅटफॉर्म मिळालं याच्यानंतर माझी सोशल डेव्हलपमेंट कुठपर्यंत आलेली आहे. असं प्रत्येक प्रेझेंटेशनला तुम्हाला विचार करण्यासाठी मित्रांनो एंडलेस आहे. यू कांट स्टॉप विथ अ सिंगल प्रेझेंटेशन. आय एम परफेक्ट. नो. बिफोर एव्हरी प्रेझेंटेशन तुम्ही रेस्टलेस झाले पाहिजेत का नाही. आज माझं प्रेझेंटेशन आहे, ते प्रेझेंटेशन हाऊ विल इट बी. यू हॅव टू बी व्हेरी फोकस्ड विथ युअर स्किल्स. नेक्स्ट, सेन्स ऑफ ह्युमर. रटाळवानं प्रत्येक वेळेस माणसाने धीर गंभीर राहू नये. नाही, आय एम टॅलेंटेड and I should be very serious by all time. No. You have to bring the flux of ease movement in your personality. थोडंसं माणसाने किडीश असायला पाहिजे, थोडं बालिशी असायला पाहिजे. कधी कधी म्हणतात लहान पोरासारख्या कोणी कोणी मोठे ऍक्टिव्हिटी करतात तर त्याला म्हणतात अरे अभी बच्चा आहे क्या. नो, इट इज अ नीड ऑफ अ टाइम. इट गिव्स अस अ प्लेजर. नेक्स्ट डिअर फ्रेंड, टाइम मॅनेजमेंट सर्वात महत्वाचा पार्ट. माझं लक्ष राहिलं नाही. मेनी अ टाइम्स होतं. बरेच जण म्हणतात की 2 मिनिटात येतो आणि 10 मिनिट लावतात. इट्स रॉंग. कारण धिस हॅबिट पर्कोलेट इन युअर एव्हरी ऍक्टिव्हिटी. यासाठी काय करायचं, एव्हरी टाइम यू पिक तुमच्या सोबत पेन आणि कागद ठेवा आणि त्या दिवशीचं सकाळपासून संध्याकाळपर्यंत आपल्याला काय करायचंय. एखाद्याला कॉल करायचा असेल ना, दॅट ऑल्सो यू पुट इन युअर नोट. बघा, कुठलीच गोष्ट तुम्ही विसरणार नाही. प्रत्येक गोष्टी वेळेवरती होती. दॅट इज अ टाइम मॅनेजमेंट. अँड इन इंडियन सिनेरिओ एक सर्वे केलेला आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये वेळेच्या बाबतीत इंडियन सिटीजन्स आर टोटली इनफेल्युअर. वाय? फक्त अकॅडमिक संस्था स्वतःचा वेळ किंवा प्रायव्हेट संस्था फॉलो करतात, वेअर ॲज सोशल सिटीजन आणि सोशल प्रोग्राम्स आर अनबाउंड विथ द टाइम. आणि हे जर वेळेवरती तुम्ही स्वतःमध्ये बदल घडवून जर कन्फर्मेशन आणि खंबीरता आणली तर डेफिनेटली यू विल बी द मास्टर ऑफ सेरेमनी. कारण कोणी वेळ दिल्यानंतर त्या वेळेत पोहोचा, तुमचं स्वागत होईल. आणि आपली मानसिकता असते एवढ्या लवकर कुणी येतं का, एवढ्या लवकर काही होईल का. नो. तुम्ही तुमचा चॉकआउट प्लॅन करा की तिथे गेल्यानंतर 10ची वेळ दिलेली आहे, मी 10 वाजता जाईल, 10:30ला वापस येईल. 10 वाजता जाऊन 10:30ला जरी सुरू झालं नसेल, तुम्ही तुमच्या दुसऱ्या कामाला निघून जा ना. It is not your fault. So be aware about time management. Problem solving, human world. जसं मॉडर्न वर्ल्डनी आपल्याला ब्लेसिंग्स आणल्या, चॅलेंजेस आणलेले आहेत. अनेक वेळी अनेक समस्या ऍट अ टाइम. जसं विल्यम शेक्सपियर सेज इन लिटरेचर, when misfortune comes they never comes single, they comes in battalion. म्हणजे आपण म्हणतो ना, नेमकं झालं, नेमकं हेच झालं, त्याच वेळेस हे झालं, त्यावेळेस हे झालं. जास्त सिच्युएशनला तुम्हाला ओव्हरकम करायचं असते. आणि हाऊ टू ओव्हरकम ऑन दॅट सिच्युएशन? रिलॅक्स, सायलेंट, शांत राहा. टाइम इटसेल्फ इज अ सोल्युशन टू टेक आउट द प्रॉब्लेम आउट. तुम्हाला काहीच करावं लागणार नाही. शांत राहिले की ते प्रॉब्लेम बरोबर सॉल्व्ह होतात. गोंधळ का बरं होतो? वी दॅट टाइम वी थिंक अबाउट दॅट ऑल द प्रॉब्लेम्स. जेव्हा ते अनेक प्रॉब्लेम एका वेळेत येतात ना, त्यावेळेस आपल्याच मनामध्ये ते सर्व प्रॉब्लेम बाबतीत आपण विचार करत राहतो आणि दॅट टाइम वी मिस्ड अवर बॅलन्स. आणि बॅलन्स बिघडलं की कुठलीच गोष्ट व्यवस्थित होत नाही. सो मित्रांनो, म्हणजे ऍज अ सजेशन आय एम टेलिंग यू की वेन एव्हर देअर कम्स अ मेनी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इन युअर लाईफ, माणूस आहे, प्रॉब्लेम होणारच आहे, सोल्युशन त्यावरती आपल्यालाच काढावं लागेल. अँड नोबडी कम्स टू युअर हेल्प. Not your father, not your mother, not your brother, not your sibling, no other. फार आपल्याला मदत करतील, फायनान्शियल करतील, पाठीवरती हात ठेवतील, आधार देतील, पण मेंटल इम्बॅलन्स काय, जो आतमध्ये तुमचा प्रॉब्लेम सुरू आहे, दॅट यू हॅव टू सॉल्व्ह युअर सेल्फ. आणि त्याकरिता ही डेव्हलपमेंट आवश्यक आहे. नेक्स्ट, टीमवर्क. वेन एव्हर यू डू विथ द पीपल, जेव्हा केव्हा तुम्ही लोकांसोबत असता तेव्हा इंडिव्हिज्युअल ठसा तुम्हाला उमटवायचा असेल तर that you have to be engaged and involved in a team, because if you do your work in a team, that time तुम्ही दुसऱ्याचं पण भलं करू शकता and you yourself will get benefited with that teamwork. कुठलंही असाइनमेंट असो, if any teachers give you any assignment, any company give you assignment, any social gathering मध्ये तुम्हाला एखादं काम दिलेलं असेल तर you try to involve in that team. Don't to get out from that team, because बाहेर आला, एक म्हण आहे इंग्लिश मध्ये सुंदर, आउट ऑफ साइट इज आउट ऑफ मेमरी. तुम्ही सातत्याने जर एखाद्या व्ह्यू, एखाद्या पिक्चरच्या बाहेर राहिले तर तुम्ही मेमरीच्या सुद्धा बाहेर जाता. म्हणून जाहिरातीचा फंडा बघा, कंटिन्यू तुम्हाला ते हॅमर करतात, ते तुमच्या डोळ्यासमोर ठेवतात. का? तुमच्या मनावरती त्यांना राज्य करायचं असते म्हणून तुमच्या डोळ्यासमोर ते ठेवतात. आज तुम्हाला जुन्या जाहिराती आठवत नसतील, लाईफ बॉयची आपल्याला जाहिरात आठवत नाही, पण केंट आरोची आठवते. वाय? बिकॉज इट इज कंटिन्यू हॅमरिंग टिल टुडे. पतंजलीच्या सर्व प्रॉडक्टची तुम्हाला जाहिरात आजही आठवते, परंतु जुन्या काळी एक विजिल साबण होती, त्याची तुम्हाला जाहिरात बिलकुल आठवणार नाही. वाय? बिकॉज इट इज आउट ऑफ साईट. दॅट्स वाय इट इज आउट ऑफ मेमरी. तसंच टीम वर्कचं असतंय. इफ यू आर इन टीम, you will be remembered. If you are not in a team and if you are not contributing yourself, you will be out of the team and you will out of memory, and it means it will erase your existence. Next, dear friend, self management. जसं आधी म्हटलं मी तुम्हाला, टाइम मॅनेजमेंट, तसं सेल्फ मॅनेजमेंट. मेनी प्रॉब्लेम्स, मेनी थिंकिंग, त्यानंतर मेनी चॅलेंजेस. मग त्याच्यामध्ये घर गृहस्थी असते, समाज असतो, बंधू असतात, बहिणी असतात, जावई असतात, मावशी असतात, जेवढे काही नातेवाईक आहेत ते रिलेशनशिप एकीकडं. दुसरीकडं जिथे काम करतात त्या ठिकाणी काम करणारं सेक्टर असते, तिथले प्रॉब्लेम वेगळे असतात. तिसरं फायनान्शियल प्रॉब्लेम वेगळा असतो. चौथा तुमचा फिजिकल प्रॉब्लेम वेगळा असतो, आजाराचा. पाचवा तुमच्या प्रमोशनचा आणि येणाऱ्या घटनांचा एक वेगळा असतो. त्यानंतर पुढला म्हटलं ते आता जसं एपिडेमिक कोविड-19 झालं, याच्यामध्ये सेल्फ मॅनेजमेंट, ज्यांनी स्वतःला मेसेजेस देऊन बॅलन्स ठेवलं, त्यांची प्रकृती उत्तम राहिली. काही जवळचे आमच्या अनुभवलेत आम्ही. दोज हू सफर्ड देमसेल्व्स, त्यांनी स्वतःच आजार लावून घेतलेत बिकॉज दे बिकम फेल्युअर इन द सेल्फ मॅनेजमेंट. कसे फेल्युअर ठरले? का मला झालं काहीतरी. माणूस आजाराला निमंत्रण विचाराने देतो, आजार नसतात हा आमंत्रण देतो, मला हे झालं. झाल्याबरोबर ते फिलिंग त्याच्या मनामध्ये तयार व्हायला लागतात आणि मनामध्ये तयार झाल्याबरोबर त्याचं शरीर त्याला रिस्पॉन्स देतं. शरीराने रिस्पॉन्स दिलं की डॉक्टर रिस्पॉन्स देतो, डॉक्टरने रिस्पॉन्स दिला की मग गोळ्याचा रिस्पॉन्स घ्यावा लागतो, त्यानंतर पैशाचा रिस्पॉन्स द्यावा लागतो. हे सर्व मॅनेजमेंटचे प्रकार आहेत जे मिसमॅनेजमेंट कडे घेऊन जातात. सो दॅट्स व्हाय आय एम सेइंग डिअर फ्रेंड्स, ट्राय टू मॅनेज युअरसेल्फ. हाऊ वन हॅज टू हँडल टू द सिच्युएशन. कारण ज्या वेळी तुमच्या मनामध्ये विचार निर्माण होतो त्यालाच तिथे अँटी थॉट असेल तर त्याला कट करा, क्रॉस करा. यू ट्राय टू थिंक समथिंग बेटर दॅन दॅट वे अँड डेफिनेटली यू विल फाइंड की तो विचार निघून गेलेला असतो अँड तरल एक चांगली सिच्युएशन तुमच्या समोर डेव्हलप झालेली असते. देन अनदर सॉफ्ट स्किल इज कल्चर. नॉलेज अबाउट द कल्चर. कल्चर म्हणजे फक्त सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रम नव्हे तर देशाचा इतिहास का, देशाचं आलेली आतापर्यंतची प्रगती कशी झाली, जनरेशन्स कशा होत्या, त्यानंतर वेगवेगळा जसं तुम्हाला इतिहास सब्जेक्ट शिकवला जातो, सोशिओलॉजी शिकवला जातो, याच्यामध्ये पूर्ण इतिहास शिकवला जातो. याचं एक बेसिक नॉलेज तुम्ही कुठल्याही ब्रांचला असा, वेदर यू आर फॉर सायन्स, आर्ट्स, कॉमर्स, मॅनेजमेंट और लायब्ररी सायन्स, मेडिकल, एनी फील्ड, बेसिक नॉलेज इज इम्पॉर्टंट. आणि हे कुठनं येईल? यू हॅव टू गिव्ह द टाइम, यू हॅव टू percolate yourself on that particular thinking, because असं होणार नाही की दोन माणसाकडनं माहिती मागितली आणि तुम्ही त्याला प्रेझेंट करू शकाल. नो. किंवा एखाद्या वेळी त्याचं काम पडलं तर तुम्हाला ते रिकॉल होईल कुणाच्या ऐकण्यानं. नो. इट शुड बी इन युअर जीन्स. ते तुमच्या मेमरीमध्ये, स्मृतीमध्ये कुठेतरी असायला पाहिजे. देन अँड ओनली देन यू कॅन लीड क्वालिटीज ऑफ युअर सॉफ्ट स्किल. देन कॉमन नॉलेज हा फार महत्वाचा पार्ट आहे. कॉमन नॉलेज. जसं आता एक चित्रपट आहे नवीन आलेला, डिअर फ्रेंड्स, पुष्पा. आता साधं त्यामधला डायलॉग जरी म्हटला तरी तुमच्या लक्षात येतं, तुमची लिंक त्या ठिकाणी लागते. असंच कॉमन नॉलेज, डेली हॅपनिंगचं कॉमन नॉलेज तुम्हाला असणं आवश्यक आहे. त्याकरिता हेडलाईन्स बघणं आवश्यक आहे, त्याकरिता जनरल डिस्कशन आवश्यक आहे. एखाद्या टॉपिक वरती तुम्हाला त्यामधनं काहीतरी घ्यायचं असेल तर तुम्ही घेऊ शकता, तुम्ही देऊ शकता. बरं, हे सर्व असण्यामागे कारण काय? इट गिव्स यू ग्रेट एनर्जी. ह्या गोष्टी तुम्हाला एनर्जी देतात, हे तुम्हाला माहित नसते, पण अनकॉन्शियसली तुमच्या पर्सनॅलिटीमध्ये या गोष्टीचा अवेअरनेस असल्यामुळे तुम्हाला एक कॉन्फिडन्स लेवलकडे ही गोष्ट घेऊन जात असते मित्रांनो. नेक्स्ट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. जसं मी म्हटलं की मेनी थिंग्स मॅनेजमेंट तशाच रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी असतात माणसाच्या लाईफमध्ये. ह्युमन लाईफ इज नॉट अ इंडिपेंडेंट विथ अ सिंगल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. मल्टीटास्किंग असतो आपण एव्हरी टाइम. मग मल्टीटास्किंग आपण लहानपणापासूनच आपल्यामध्ये सवयी आलेल्या आहेत. लहान मूल बघा, ही इज एका वेळी अनेक गोष्टी करतो. मोठं झाल्यानंतर त्याचं स्वरूप बदलतं. एका वेळी तुमच्या खांद्यावरती अनेक जबाबदाऱ्या येतात आणि त्या खंबीरपणे पेलण्याकरिता यू हॅव टू बी व्हेरी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक. आशावादी आपण असायला पाहिजे. ऍट अ टाइम तुम्हाला सांगितलं जातं यू हॅव टू डेव्हलप द स्किल फॉर दॅट. एका वेळी सर्व आपण करू शकत नाही. त्याचं मॅनेजमेंट आपण करणं शिकलं पाहिजे. रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज प्रायोरिटीनुसार तुम्हाला त्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फ्रेम करता आल्या पाहिजे. इफ यू हॅव एनी 4 थिंग्स इन युअर लाईफ टू डू ऍट अ टाइम इन अ डे, तुमच्या जीवनामध्ये एकाच दिवशी 4 गोष्टी तुम्हाला करायच्या असतील तर 4 चौकोन करा. त्याला 1, 2, 3, 4 नंबर द्या आणि त्या नंबरनुसार पहिल्या नंबरवरती आपण कोणती करायची, दुसऱ्या नंबरवरती कोणती, तिसऱ्या आणि चौथ्यावरती कोणती करायची, हे एकदा कागदावरती उतरून घ्या आणि बघा तुमचा प्रॉब्लेम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीचा त्याच वेळेस सॉल्व्ह होऊन जाईल. यू कॅनॉट हँडल 4 थिंग्स ॲट अ टाइम. You have to separate that 4 things with the separation of the time. Next, dear friends, anger management. Most hazardous aspect of society. समाजाचा सर्वात असलेला डेंजर जो वैयक्तिक कुटुंबाला जबाबदार आहे, जो बालकांवरती होणाऱ्या अत्याचाराला जबाबदार आहे, कौटुंबिक हिंसाचाराला जबाबदार आहे, मैत्रीच्या रिलेशन्स मध्ये दरी करायला जबाबदार आहे, किंवा इतर सर्व पार्ट हे फक्त रागाच्या भरोशावरती होतात. आणि हा पार्ट जो आहे अँगर मॅनेजमेंट, इट इज व्हेरी डेंजर. आता याला कंट्रोल करायचं कसं? तुम्ही म्हणाल सर तुम्ही एवढं सांगून राहिले तुम्हाला राग येत नाही का? येतो. किंवा जगातला असा कोणीच नाही ज्याला राग येत नाही, पण त्याचे स्वरूप, त्याचं फॅशन, त्याची टेम्परामेंट आणि राग आल्यानंतर केलेली ऍक्शन, रिॲक्शन याचं स्वरूप वेगळं असतं. काही जण बघा राग आले चूप बसतात. दीज पर्सनॅलिटी आर द मास्टर पर्सनॅलिटी. काही म्हणतात आला की व्यक्त करून द्यायचं, पण कुणावरती व्यक्त करणार? विल यू एक्सप्रेस इट ऑन ह्युमन बिंग? नो. एक्सप्रेस युअर सेल्फ इन ऍक्टिव्हिटीज. डान्स करा, राग आला, हसा. तुम्ही मुन्नाभाई एमबीबीएस पिक्चर बघितला असेल मित्र. आता हे वन वे होत आहे, मग त्याच्यामुळं मला तुमच्या रिॲक्शन्सची आय कांट जज युअर रिॲक्शन्स. मुन्नाभाई एमबीबीएस मध्ये एक डॉक्टर म्हणून कॅरेक्टर आहे. ते कॅरेक्टर काय करतं? राग आला की जोर जोरात हसतं, म्हणजे तो डीन. वाय दॅट डीन लाफ टू लाऊडली? ही टेक आउट ऑल हिज अँगर्स थ्रू द लाफ. आपल्याला वाटतं का तो हसतोय? येस, he but what he does, he take out all his feelings, whatever imbibed in his personality, he take it out. त्या वेळेला आलेलं सर्व तो बाहेर फेकतो. अँगर असंच आहे. इफ यू बिकम अँग्री, इन्व्हॉल्व युअरसेल्फ और कीप मम, इट विल गेट डाऊन विथ द टाइम. आता हे सर्व सॉफ्ट स्किल डेव्हलपमेंट करण्यासाठी व्हॉट यू हॅव टू डू? काय करायला लागेल तुम्हाला? बी युअरसेल्फ. मैं ऐसा हूं, असा आहो मी. पण असा म्हणजे आहो तसाच नका राहू. यू ट्राय टू डेव्हलप. परंतु उगीच तुम्ही त्याला क्रॅम्बल करून किंवा फोर्सफुली तुम्ही कुठली गोष्ट अवगत करण्याचा प्रयत्न करू नका. जे बदल घडत असतील, ट्राय टू ब्रिंग दॅट चेंज इन युअर सेल्फ. कारण हे सॉफ्ट स्किल डेव्हलप करणे, जसं मी तुम्हाला वारंवार 2-3दा सांगितलं, इट्स नॉट यू डेव्हलप within a day or within a month. It takes more and more and more and more and time. With your increasing age, it will go on increasing. Next, dear friends, try to face the situation with a very freelance way. समस्या असतात, जगासमोर समस्या घेऊन जाल तर you will not be a master of a problem. कोणी तुमचे वाहवा करणार नाही की वा you have very great personality and serious all the time. No. People doesn't like serious person, remember. मग प्रत्येक वेळी जोकरच बनायचं का? नो. बॅलन्स ऍटिट्यूड इन युअर लाईफ. देन फील गुड अबाउट युअर सेल्फ. स्वतःबद्दल सकाळी उठले चांगला विचार करा, आय एम गुड. हा दिवस मी चांगल्या कामात घालवणार, आलेले संकट दूर करणार, आणि कुठल्याच परिस्थितीत मी डगमगणार नाही. गिव्ह मेसेज टू युअर सेल्फ. आणि सायंकाळी माऊलीचे भगवंताचे आभार माना, दिवस चांगला गेला, खुश ठेवलं. बिकॉज ह्या गोष्टी तुम्हाला हास्यास्पद वाटत असतील, परंतु याचे चिरकाल परिणाम तुमच्या अंतर्मनामध्ये इतके डीप होतात की ते तुमच्या व्यक्तिमत्वामध्ये कालांतराने दिसायला लागतात. ऍटिट्यूड ऑफ ग्रॅटिट्यूड. कुणी तुमच्यासाठी काम केलेलं असेल ना, त्याला मनपूर्वक आभार द्या. किंवा कुणाचं चांगलं काम झालेलं असेल तर त्यालाही आभार म्हणा. किंवा कुणी तुमच्याच फ्रेंड सर्कलमध्ये बेस्ट असेल, कारण त्याने डेव्हलपमेंट केलेली आहे स्वतःची. लॉरेल्स नेव्हर कम्स इन द नाईट. जे अचिव्हमेंट्स असतात ते एका रात्रीतनं येत नसतात. मॅरेथॉन एफर्ट्स त्याच्यासाठी लागतात. आणि काही लोक कंजूसी करतात किंवा त्याला निग्लेक्ट करतात अचिव्हमेंट करणाऱ्याला. आणि इफ यू निग्लेक्ट, हा तुमचाच पोतेपणा ठरेल. पॉझिटिव्ह ॲटिट्यूड. जे बी अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट अब्राहम लिंकन लुक वाईज कसे होते. एका मुलीने सांगितलं, ग्रॅज्युएशनला लेसन असेलच कदाचित, तुम्ही दाढीमध्ये चांगले दिसतात. दॅट मॅन केप्ट हिज बियर्ड. सी द हाऊ पॉझिटिव्हिटी ही केप्ट विथ हिमसेल्फ. महात्माजी, he lived entire in life in 2 pieces of cloth and shows his great way to the world with his positivism. Learning from failures. अनेक अपयश तुम्हाला लाईफ मध्ये येत असतील मित्र. You will try to learn from that failures. अमिताभ बच्चन याने केबीसीएल कंपनी टाकलेली होती, पूर्ण तोट्यात गेली. And now he is again cope up with that entire position and is very sound in financial way, social way, physical way, by every way. Overcome our guilt and worry. काळजी असेल बाजूला सारा. गिल्ट, अपराधीपणाची भावना असेल, एखादं मी काही केलेलं आहे त्याला बाजूला सारा. वेळेच्या प्रवाहामध्ये ट्राय टू ब्रिंग युअर सेल्फ समथिंग बेटर वे. काहीतरी चांगलं निर्माण होईलच असा आशावाद ठेवा मित्र. आणि स्पष्ट गोल ठेवा, क्लिअर गोल ठेवा. डोंट कीप एनी कन्फ्युजन की आय वॉन्ट टू डू. पण गोल ठेवत असताना लक्षात ठेवा, शॉर्ट टर्म लॉंग टर्म गोल महत्वाचे. If you are in a graduation for the first year, keep your short-term goal. I have to become clear in meritorious way. Long-term goal, after graduation, I want to appear for competitive examination, want to become a Tahsildar, Deputy Collector, or UPSC. I want to become a whatsoever. Long-term goal, short-term goal. Clear ठेवा, confusion नका ठेवा. जर तुम्ही म्हटलं की मला कलेक्टर व्हायचंय आणि चपराशाचा फॉर्म भरून राहिलाय, don't try to do this. Or if you want to become a teacher and you are going on a ground in a gym and doing lot of exercise without spending your time in study. Exercise ही महत्वाची आहे, but not in too much way. तसं क्लिअर गोल जर तुम्ही ठेवलं ना, you will become a master in the skills. You should have very clarification in the values. अनेक ज्या व्हॅल्यूज असतात सोशल मध्ये, you have to respect that. You have to also value to the people. कारण जिन खोजा तीन पहिया म्हणतात, म्हणजे ज्याने जसं केलं तसं त्याला मिळतं. सो या सॉफ्ट स्किल सोबत हे व्हॅल्यू फॉर द पीपल इज ऑल्सो अनदर सॉफ्ट स्किल. ट्राय टू अवे फ्रॉम द इगो, राग, द्वेष, अहंकार. ट्राय टू गेट अवे फ्रॉम दिस, कारण इट बिकम्स अ डिफिकल्टी इन युअर वे. आपल्या लाईफ मध्ये ह्या गोष्टी इतक्या अडचणी निर्माण करतात, तुम्हाला दिसत नाही, बट इनडायरेक्टली दे ऑल अफेक्ट ऑन युअर बिहेवियर. तुमचं बिहेवियर पॅटर्न जे आहे त्याच्यावरती इगो अँड युअर एनव्ही, द्वेष हा इफेक्ट करत असतो. ट्राय टू स्प्रेड लव्ह अँड हॅपीनेस. एका वेगळ्या देशाची आलेली लेडी इंडियामध्ये मदर बनून नोबेल पारितोषिक घेऊन जाते. किती आयडियल पर्सनॅलिटी म्हणायला लागत, कारण कुठलाच एम त्या बाईने ठेवलेला नव्हता. Only she spread love in the society and she create happiness. Then don't complain about any situation. तुमच्या लाईफ मध्ये असं उलट घडतंय किंवा मला हेच नाहीये, मला असंच पाहिजे होतं, ह्याची कंप्लेंट करत बसू नका. दुसऱ्याला नेहमी ऑनेस्ट अक्नॉलेजमेंट द्या, प्रामाणिक द्या, खोटे देऊ नका. जर त्याने खरोखर प्रिपेअर केले असेल, राईट ट्रॅक वरती असेल, यू ट्राय टू गिव्ह हिम नाईस कॉम्प्लिमेंट. तुमच्या मनामध्ये ज्या भीती असतील ना, त्याला चॅलेंज करणं शिका मित्र. कारण कुठेही गेलात, एव्हरीवेअर यू विल फाइंड अ ह्युमन बिईंग. माणसाशिवाय कुठलं जग नाही, आणि माणसंही आपल्यासारखीच असतात, काळा मासाच्या बनलेली असतात. मग कशाला घाबरायचं कुठल्या परिस्थितीला? मग भीती कशाची? Whether I'll become a success or not, no. Whether I will become able to face that challenges in a real way or not, don't worry. Time is the solution, and तुमचे skill matter करतात. How confident you are in your soft skill. Then shifting your focus. Challenge किती मोठा असू द्या मित्र, तुमचा way of attitude and way to deal with the problem should be proper. If that shifting mismatch, then छोटा problem हा जो असतो हा सुद्धा मोठा बनू शकतो, किंवा मोठा प्रॉब्लेम हा प्रॉब्लेमच राहू शकत नाही जर तुमचा फोकस त्याच्यावरती व्यवस्थित असेल तर. कुठलीच गोष्ट पुढे ढकलू नका, वेळेवरती करण्याचा प्रयत्न करा, आणि प्रयत्न करत असताना नेव्हर गिव्ह अप दॅट थिंग्स की आता झालेलं आहे मी अर्ध्यात सोडून देतो. नो, ट्राय टू ग्रॅब दॅट एंटायर पोझिशन अँड कंटिन्युअसली ट्राय टू पॉलिश युअर सेल्फ, अँड देन you will fly and swim from the little pond to the bigger pond, from bigger to river, from river to sea, and sea will be the best world for you to roam. कारण जेव्हा मोठ्या ऍटमॉस्फिअर मध्ये माणूस जात नाही तोपर्यंत आपले लिमिटेशन्स काय आपल्याला लक्षात येत नाही. पण फुगे बघितले असतील, त्यातला कलर महत्वाचा नसतो, आपण कसे आहोत, दिसायला कसे आहोत, उंची कशी आहे याच्यावरती काही अवलंबून नाही. तर त्या फुग्यांमधली हवा ही महत्वाची असते जी त्याला वर घेऊन जाते. तसंच ह्युमन बिंग मधलं ह्युमन पर्सनॅलिटी, ह्युमन बिहेवियर, ह्युमन लुक डझंट मॅटर. द कलर ऑफ बलून डझंट मॅटर, व्हॉट मॅटर्स इज इनसाइड द बलून, दॅट इज एअर. तसंच ह्युमन बिंगचं आहे की पर्सनॅलिटी इन आउटर वे डझंट मॅटर, व्हॉट इज इनसाइड ऑफ हिज ब्रेन, हाऊ ट्रेन्ड विथ द स्किल he is matter more. And if you adopt this entire skill, definitely winning journey will be yours and you will be the master of the world. अत्यंत सुंदर थीम वरती या ठिकाणी आज कॉन्फरन्स अरेंज केलेली होती, आणि मला या ठिकाणी माझे मित्र प्राध्यापक डॉक्टर अनुप कुंबळे सरांनी या ठिकाणी मला संधी दिली, नीरज केंडे सर यांच्यासोबत, आणि हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट डॉक्टर VM खडसे सरांच्या नेतृत्वात, आणि प्राचार्य ऑनरेबल डॉक्टर हरिभाऊ वेरुळकर सर यांच्या मार्गदर्शनात मला संधी दिली, आणि माझ्यासोबत चेअरपर्सन म्हणून या टेक्निकल सेशन करता ऑनरेबल डॉक्टर नितीन माथनकर सर, जे प्रिन्सिपल लेट वसंतराव कोलटकर आर्ट्स कॉलेज रोहना उपस्थित होते, आणि आपण सर्व विद्यार्थी आणि प्राध्यापक मंडळी या लेक्चर या टेक्निकल सेशनला उपस्थित राहिलेत. आय एम व्हेरी थँकफुल फॉर यू एंटायर ऑल, and I hope that whatever I said to you may become fruitful for you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Sheetal Dadi, sir. You have very well explained all the key terms of soft skill, such as interpersonal skill, creative thinking, conflict resolution, presentation skill, and goes on to the problem solving, teamwork, self-management, awareness about culture, common knowledge, responsibilities, management of anger, and finally, the most important is be yourself. I would like to conclude my remarks by using the phrase by Aristotle, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, what I found from your speech. Thank you once again, sir. Now I would request Professor Dr. Mathankar sir to share his views on the first technical session. Over to you, Dr. Mathankar sir.
Good morning, everybody. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude towards the management of Krishna Education Society, Chairman Honorable Bayasab Kare, Honorable Shobatai Kare, Honorable Sandeep Ji Kare, my friend Principal Dr. Haribo Virulkar, the organizing committee, the staff, students. My gratitude is for providing me opportunity to be the chairperson of the first technical session of this one-day national conference. I would like to congratulate the organizing committee of today's conference, because the topic, the subject which was chosen by them is really the need of the hour, we can say. It is not limited to a certain subject or certain faculty, but it has a wide scope nowadays in today's new world, I should say. This particular conference, the resource person of today's first technical, I would really appreciate the way my friend Dr. Sheetal presented the topic with his resourceful knowledge, words, the way he used his language. In all, we can say that his presentation shows, or we can have a good example of the soft skill developed person who has shown his skills in every field, his pronunciation, his presentation, everything. मुलांनी जे मुलं या कॉन्फरन्समध्ये पार्टिसिपेट्स आहे त्यांना एक जिवंत उदाहरण आपल्या समोर आहे की तायडे सरांनी ज्या पद्धतीमध्ये आपलं प्रेझेंटेशन केलेलं आहे त्या प्रेझेंटेशन कडे जरी आपण व्यवस्थित बघितलं तरी आपल्याला अनेक स्किल्सचं त्याच्यामधून नॉलेज मिळू शकते. Really, I should congratulate my friend Dr. Virudkar and the organizing committee of this particular conference that they have taken initiative to organize such a beautiful conference on the subject which is the need of the hour, which I earlier said. Particularly when Dr. Taide has differentiated what is soft and what is hard skill. अत्यंत उत्कृष्ट असं उदाहरण देऊन त्यांनी सॉफ्ट स्किल काय असतात आणि हार्ड स्किल काय असतात हे आपल्याला समजून सांगितलेलं आहे. विद्यार्थ्यांनी नक्की त्याकडे लक्ष द्यायला हवं. More than that, I would like to put my one point regarding this is that soft skill is not only needed by the student nowadays. It's not my blame, but we teachers, I consider in that community, we teachers also need to pay attention on this soft skill of communication. Most of the time I observe that we fail to establish proper communication with the student. Now, communication, establishing a communication is not enough from my point of view. It must be an effective communication, a communication which can transfer my thoughts, my knowledge, my views to the students in a proper and effective way. That's what I want. That's why I say that effective communication. And when we fail to establish proper communication with the student, there appears, we can say, a communication gap. And we all know when there is communication gap, that means we all know there is nothing to say about that. So organizing such conferences, workshops on communication skill, and inviting such resourceful persons like Taide sir, my friend Anil Dudewar is also there. He is going to address, I think, the second technical session. He is also a very resourceful person in this. I heard him already. And the thing that whatever we do in this, whatever steps we take, whatever initiatives we take, it will not only benefit the society, but main our stakeholder is students. They are also benefited. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, या ठिकाणी कला वाणिज्य विज्ञान महाविद्यालय आरवी यांनी जे तुमच्या करता एक कॉन्फरन्स, स्पेशली रुरल एरियाच्या स्टुडंट्स करता जी कॉन्फरन्स अरेंज केली, आणि तायडे सरांनी तुम्हाला कधी इंग्लिश आणि कधी मराठी या भाषेमध्ये आपला जो काही वीव आहे सॉफ्ट स्किलवर, स्किल ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन असो, टाइम मॅनेजमेंट असो, अशा अनेक गोष्टींवर जे काही व्ह्यूज त्यांनी इथे एक्सप्रेस केलेले आहेत, त्यासाठी आपण सगळे म्हणजे बेसिकली आय वॉज द पार्ट ऑफ आर्ट्स कॉमर्स अँड सायन्स कॉलेज. I was lecturer in English there for 16 and 17 years. That college that gave me the identity of teacher, that gave me the identity of principal. I must express my gratitude to the management, to the principal, and all of my friends who are there as a teacher now serving in that college. I am obliged to them. I am obliged to them. Second thing, yesterday I read one book. There I observed what the writer wants to say is that, and he said it. We all are products. We all are products in this world, right from the childhood to the young age, teenager and child and then young age. Now, how superior the product is. If you want to make your choices better, that means you should be a better product. And this product is always attached with hope. And what is this? A product attached with hope means we have to become capable of choosing jobs, relationship, friendship, etc. in the society in which we live. Now, better the choices, better the jobs. Now, that's why I want to say, म्हणून मी सगळ्या विद्यार्थी मित्रांना हे सांगू इच्छितो की तुम्हाला या समाजात राहत असताना तुम्ही एक बेटर प्रोडक्ट जर तुम्हाला बनवायचं असेल तर सगळ्यांनी या सॉफ्ट स्किलला अशा प्रकारच्या कम्युनिकेशन स्किल सारख्या सॉफ्ट स्किल, दॅट इज द बेसिक स्किल विच वन शुड हॅव if you really want to survive in this new world. That is the basic skill. I think so. Now, I want to use a new phrase, we can say. Wise, W-I-S-E, wise in skill. You must be wise in skills. So many skills are there. Nobody is born ready. Everybody wants to become perfect in the duration of time. And if you want to become a better product, if you want to become perfect, in a course of time, you should learn various skills. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, तुम्हाला या जगामध्ये उत्कृष्टरित्या उभं राहायचं असेल, आपली स्वतःची ताडे सरांनी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे आपली स्वतःची ओळख जर निर्माण करायची असेल तर ओळख निर्माण करताना आपण या जगामधले सर्वोत्कृष्ट असायला पाहिजे. शिवाजीचं उदाहरण, शिवाजीचं इतिहासामधला शिवाजी वाचताना माझं असं म्हणणं आहे की आपण उदाहरणापुरतं शिवाजीला सीमित न ठेवता ज्या क्षेत्रात मी जाईल त्या क्षेत्राचा मी शिवाजी व्हायला पाहिजे. ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टींमध्ये आपलं खरं तर एक प्रकारचं एनहान्समेंट ज्याला आपण म्हणू, उत्कर्ष ज्याला आपण म्हणू, त्या ठिकाणी राहील. मित्रांनो, एक शब्द सरांनी वापरला, तो ती पण एक फ्रेज आहे तायडे सरांनी. ती फ्रेज खूप महत्वाची आहे. ती phrase आहे attitude of gratitude. You know, these two words are very much different. Attitude and gratitude. Every time we must be thankful to our God, because this opportunity is also provided me by the God. This is my gratitude. This is my attitude of gratitude towards God. This is my attitude of gratitude towards the management of Arts, Commerce and Science College. This is my attitude of gratitude towards my friend, Principal Dr. H.R. Virulkar, and to all my friends in Arts, Commerce and Science College RV. We should have कृतज्ञतेची भावना आपल्या सगळ्यांमध्ये असायला पाहिजे आणि प्रत्येक क्षणाला भगवान तेरा लाख लाख शुक्र है हे जर आपण म्हणत राहिलो तर आपल्याला निश्चित जीवनामध्ये नेहमी आपल्याला काही ना काही जे दिल ते मिळत राहील. आणि शेवटी पुष्पा या पिक्चरचं एक उदाहरण सरांनी दिलेलं आहे आणि उदाहरण दिलंय अमिताभ बच्चनचं सुद्धा. विद्यार्थी मित्रांनो, कुठलाही सिनेमा, कुठलंही नाटक, कुठलाही लिटररी फॉर्म तुम्ही ज्यावेळेस ड्रामेटायझेशन पाहता त्यावेळेस आपल्याला त्याच्या स्टोरीकडे बघणं फार अत्यंत गरजेचं आहे असं माझं मत आहे. स्टोरी का? नेमकं पुष्पा हा कोण? त्या पिक्चर मधला हिरो. तर तो एक तस्कर आणि तस्कर आज संपूर्ण इंडियाचा रोल मॉडेल बनलेला आहे. लक्षात घ्या. म्हणून आपल्यामध्ये क्रिटिसिझम हा ऍटिट्यूड नेहमी असला पाहिजे. अर्थात पॉझिटिव्ह क्रिटिसिझम. There is no need to have a negative criticism all the time, but we should have a positive criticism. And this positive criticism, whenever we go to see a film, whenever we hear any song, वो शाम कुछ अजब थी, ये शाम भी कुछ अजब है. वो कल भी पास पास थी, आज ये भी करीब है. What is this? This is nothing but a pastness of the present. This is nothing but pastness of the present. So whenever we hear any resource person, whenever we go to see any film, whenever we hear a song, we must have a critical attitude to listen, to see. Yeah. Another big example Dr. Taide has given regarding the C, SEAC. Now you require a wide vision when you see a sea. And that's why everybody should have that wide vision, as if you are seeing a sea, SEAC. Thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity, the organizing committee, Dr. Vijay Kharse, Dr. Neeraj Kende, Dr. Anup Gumre, all these people. Again, I would like to thank Dr. Taide for his enlightened and knowledgeable word, and the management, and last but not least, the staff of the college and my friend Dr. H.R. Virulkar. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us. And your words of wisdom always gives us inspiration to go ahead. We will remember your phrase, wise in skill. We will try to practice in our teaching and everything. Thank you once again, Dr. Mathankar, sir, for being a chairperson of the first technical section. Now, I would like to request Professor Anup Gumre, sir, to propose a vote of thanks for the technical session first. Over to you, Dr. Anup Gumre, sir.
Thank you, sir. Really, it's a great pleasure to have two eminent personalities here in this conference. When we decided to organize this conference, on soft skill development for the rural undergraduate students. The two personalities came in front of us. The first was Dr. Nitin Mathankar. We know him from last 15 years. From his busy schedule of administration and university work, he has spared time for us today. And he has minutely observed, listened the speech delivered by Dr. Sheetal. In his speech, he has focused on all the details of the words spoken by Dr. Sheetal. Thank you, sir, for your minute observation and reverberating thoughts. We are always enlightened by your encouragement, your words of wisdom. Today, we are very much thankful to you for giving your valuable time, precious time for us. Thank you. Secondly, I will propose the vote of thanks to Dr. Sheetal Babu Taide. He is head of the department at Ramakrishna Mahavidyalaya, and he is very famous among all the students of Amravati University. He has delivered expert thought talks at various conferences. During the pandemic era, he was one of the most wanted speakers in this university. Today, he has given us detailed information about soft skills, especially when it comes to rural undergraduate students. We realize while teaching, when we are in contact with these students, we realize that there is a dire need of understanding what is soft skill. Secondly, acquiring those soft skills, because as the speakers have discussed, in the world of globalization, soft skills are the most important things. Today, Dr. Taide has spoken, has given a detailed PowerPoint presentation on these soft skills. I am very much thankful to you, sir. On behalf of Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV, Department of English, I extend my deepest thanks and gratitude towards you. Thank you, sir. Now I declare the first technical session is over. Over to you, Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you very much, sir. With the due permission of Chairperson of the session, I hereby declare that the first technical session will end here. Now we are moving to the second technical session, and that is the paper presentation. Once again, I would like to welcome you all in the second technical session of the e-conference on skill development for rural undergraduate student. I welcome Chairperson of the session, Honorable Dr. Anil Dodawar, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Nandanvan, Nagpur. I request him to chair the session. I request Professor Anup Gumbre, technical session. Second is basically about the paper presentation. And we have 6 to 7 entries for the paper presentation. And now, the first one is, before the starting the paper presentation, I would like to request Professor Anup Gumbre sir to give a brief introduction of Chairperson of this technical session, Dr. Anil Dodawar sir. Over to you, Dr. Anup Gumbre sir.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Dr. Anil. Hello.
Anup sir, you are audible. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir. This is Dr. Anup Gumde. I want to give a brief introduction of our chairperson of this second technical session, Dr. Anil Dodewar, sir. He is assistant professor in English at Mahila Mahavidyalaya Nandanvan, and we are working with him since last 12 years. He has been awarded doctorate degree from Rashtra Sant Tukadoji Maharaj Nagpur University. He has completed his MA in English and MA in linguistics as well. He has also completed his MPhil from Alagappa University, Karaikudi. Amongst his teaching experiences, I will prominently note here that he had also worked at Vilasarao Deshmukh College of Engineering for 2 years. Before that, he had worked for 2 years at Mahatma Phule Arts, Commerce and Science College, Varud, and also at Sarvodaya Engineering College, Nagpur. He has published 26 research papers in different journals at national and international conferences. He had also published one book entitled Themes and Techniques in the Novels of D.H. Lawrence. The most important contribution of Dr. Anil Dodewar is that he is the chief editor of 2 journals. The first one is University Professors Association National Interdisciplinary e-Journal with ISSN. Secondly, he is the chief editor of Research Hub International Peer-Reviewed e-Journal from 2020 onwards. He has been awarded Bharat Vidya Ratna Award in 2021 by International Business Council, New Delhi, for his outstanding achievement and remarkable role in the field of education. His academic and administrative responsibilities are far and wide. He is coordinator of IQEC of the college. He is coordinator of YCMOU Study Center, Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. He is coordinator of RUSA, RUSA. He is the chief editor of 2 journals. He is the secretary of University Professors Association and president of SSB Nagpur. Recently, he was invited as the resource person on the second day of the 3-day online workshop on importance of English and the art of public speaking organized by the School of Languages and Literatures, Punyashlok Ahilya Devi Holkar, Solapur University, Solapur. He was also the resource person in 2 days workshop on Google Classroom and e-content development organized by late Vasantrao Kuletkar College, Rohna. The list is long. To save our time and to allow our participants, our teachers to present their research papers, I will stop here. I again say thank you, sir, for your valuable time for chairing the session. Now, the paper presentation session will begin. Over to you, Dr. Neeraj.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gumde, sir, and welcome you, sir, Dr. Anil Dodewar, sir. Now, I request all the present paper presenters that we should keep the time frame. Every participant has given 6 minutes to present their paper. Be with the time. First of all, I would like to invite for the paper presentation. The first participant is Dr. Nilesh Subbawar, Shiv Shakti Arts College, Baburgaon. He is associated with the Shiv Shakti Arts College, Baburgaon. Dr. Nilesh Subbawar.
Am I audible, sir? Thank you.
Yeah. Please switch on your camera.
My camera is on.
Webcam is not visible, sir.
Just a minute. Let me see.
I request all the participants, please start your presentation with your brief introduction and wind up your paper in a 6 minutes.
Sulprivat sir, you can start now without camera also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. I wish good afternoon to all. And before I move ahead with my presentation, I congratulate the organizing team for conducting such a grand venture of National E-Conference on very apt topic, that is soft skill development of rural UG students. Am I audible, sir? Am I audible?
Audible,
Yes.
but not visible.
Yes, sir. I think there is some problem with my camera because I am joining with from my phone.
Okay. Start
So,
your video if possible.
yes.
Otherwise, go ahead.
Yes. I would like to express my gratefulness to Dr. Vijay Khadse, Dr. Anup Kumble, and Dr. N.P. Kende for granting this opportunity to present my paper in this conference. Dr. Anej sir and Dr. Sheetal Babu Taide have already enlightened us through this insightful speeches regarding soft skills. With the prior permission of the chair, I am going to proceed to my presentation, and the topic of my paper is group discussion, an operative tool to develop soft skills of UG students. So dear friends, the success of a person in any field depends upon the soft skills he or she acquires. It has become an integral part of one's personality in the 21st century. Many studies have explored the significance of soft skills to create one's impression at social, academic, and professional level. Collins' English Dictionary defines the term soft skill as desirable qualities for certain forms of employment that do not depend on acquired knowledge. They include common sense, the ability to deal with people, and a positive, flexible attitude. However, it is difficult to define soft skills in a single line, as it includes various qualities such as communication skill, both verbal and non-verbal, teamwork, professional ethics, interpersonal skills, personal chemistry, time management, leadership, critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, conflict management, analytical ability, negotiation, decision making, self motivation, self confidence, self awareness, so on and so forth. Hence, to develop all these skills in a systematic manner is a Herculean task because it is not feasible to develop all these skills at a time. It needs a systematic action plan with appropriate implementation. Realizing the importance of soft skills, several studies have also emphasized the point that these skills should be embedded in the curriculum, thus making it easier for students to acquire them. Hence, it is the need of an hour to make the students aware of soft skills at higher level of education, as it supports students in career advancement. Active participation in group discussion can provide enough prospects for students at this level to develop soft skills. In this respect, I would like to appreciate Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University because it has incorporated GD in the syllabus of English language long back. Group discussion is an effective means to assess the numerous abilities among the students or candidates. GD is an unstructured act where a group of participants are left with some relevant topic, and wherein the participants have to demonstrate various elements of soft skills to be selected as a successful candidate. It is an activity that offers an exposure to argue and express one's views confidently. It improves critical thinking, reasoning, leadership, time management, and communication skills of students. Hence, it leads to overall personality development that may ensure success in academics as well as all facets of life. The noteworthy soft skills, the GD helps to improve our communication skills, interpersonal skills, leadership skills, analytical skills, listening skills, presentation skills, etc. To be brief, I will not go into the details of how does GD improve these soft skills, as I have mentioned in detail all these things in my paper. Hence, I would like to conclude that soft skills help the students to secure success in academic, social, and professional domains of life. Therefore, the students should be made aware of soft skills and strive to acquire them at higher educational levels. The higher educational institutes also should take some initiatives to promote soft skills development of the students, as it is the transition phase to the real world. At this level of education, group discussion can be used as an operative tool to develop soft skills of students, as it encourages students to acquire soft skills. So with this, I once again thank you. I would like to say thank you to all of you for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nilesh Subbalwal. I here avoid to give any comments over the paper presentation because I am one of the participants. So the job will be done by the Dr. Anil Dodava sir. Now I request second participant of the session, Dr. Mohan Mende, to present his paper. Mohan Mende sir is associate with late Narayan Rao Kale Smruti Mahavidyalay, Karanja. He is an assistant professor and head of the Department of English. I welcome you, Dr. Mohan Mende sir.
Hello, Kende sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
And visible?
Not visible. Only the
Okay.
photograph is shown on the screen.
Okay, sir. I will read my paper.
Sir, your voice is not clear. Please switch on the camera. Dr. Mende.
Kende sir, may I start?
Sir, you are not audible.
Connectivity.
There is a issue of connectivity. Please try to change the place.
Kende sir.
Okay.
हाँ केंद्र सर आवाज येतो का माझ्या?
Hello.
हाँ केंद्र सर am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir, but not visible. Please switch on your
Okay.
camera.
Okay. I start reading my paper now, okay?
Sir, you are not visible.
Okay, sir, you can start reading your paper without camera.
Okay, sir. Okay. My paper is on communication skill. Before that, it is great pleasure to me to given a chance to present a paper on communication skill. I'm thankful to Dr. Vijay Khadse sir, Dr. Anup Gumbre sir, and Dr. Neeraj Kende sir to provide me such an opportunity to deliver my thoughts on a very wonderful conference organized by Arts and Commerce and Science College RV on soft skills development of UG rural students. It is a very good thing, and I am totally indebted to these my friends on this occasion. Thank you very much in the beginning and organizing such a wonderful conference. I am presenting my paper on communication skill. So I am going to start to read my paper. There are many aspects to shape our personality. If you have good communication skills, your personality added with one more jewel. It is such an expression of our personality that create an impact on others. This skill is useful, professional, and professional. It is very essential skill for students as it is useful to them on various occasions like interview, group discussions, making presentations, elocutions, and discussion also. If you have good communication skills, then it becomes easy to convince your point of view. We can categorize this skill in two parts: formal communication and informal communication. Now I'm try to let you know what's my views regarding this formal communication. Formal communication, this skill is necessary in the professional life. Without proper communication skill in a professional life can create a lot of problems in your personal and professional life. It is true that a single word uttered by a speaker can create a different effects on others. Sometimes it is beneficial for speakers, or sometimes it can be create prejudices. Silence and your smile can create an impression on others. If you are not able to communicate properly, it is good to use minimum words. We should be very cautious when dealing with communication in our formal life. That students are not able to communicate properly, to communicate directly, because they are totally away from formal behavior. Number of times it is seen that our students are not using proper words while we are on the streets, while we are wandering in the market, and at that particular time a caller communication with us, and we are not able to express our views. They don't have habit to grant permissions from others or seniors. Well, they are inquiring about anything or asking some questions, they don't got proper information, as other person got irritated on them as she will be busy in any other activity. The another reason for his or irritation is a lack of proper formal behavior. So it is necessary for students to have such etiquettes and manners to become a successful person in their life. So this is about the formal communication. While we are dealing with formal communication, at that time we should have a proper type of manners and etiquettes. Otherwise, we should create a problem not only for the another person, but also for ourselves. Later on, informal communication, while dealing with our relatives and friends, we have some problems. Informal communication is also necessary while communicating with your friends and relatives. Also, When you are dealing with communications on public places, you should be king at your home. But in the world, no one excuses you on your blunders. If you don't communicate properly, then you are punished by others. So when making communications, you should take some precautions. The precautions are as follows. Don't speak too loudly or too slowly. Because if you are speaking too loudly, then it creates nuisance. And if you are speaking too slowly, then it cannot be understood by anyone. Use minimum words. As you know, silence speaks louder than voice. Take in consideration in your life that less is more. Avoid bombastic and unnecessary words as it creates more confusion. You know about communication, then you will be a good communicator. I have my views in short before you that I have in my paper. That's all from my side. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohan Mende, sir, for your presentation on communication skill. Now, I request Professor Dr. Vijay Khadse, sir, Assistant Professor and Head of English Department, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV, to present his paper. Over to you, Dr. Khadse, sir.
Thank you very much, Kendi sir, for giving me an opportunity to present my paper. The title of my paper is Essentials of Effective Communication. First of all, I would like to explain what is communication. Communication is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. In other words, talking or writing and listening or reading. Good communicators listen carefully, speak or write clearly, and respect different opinions. Effective communication competencies play a crucial position in honing one's personality. Communication helps people to specify themselves in the most convincing way. Your thoughts, emotions, and knowledge need to be exceeded in the most ideal manner, and good communication skill assist you in the same. A person has to communicate actually nicely to make a mark of his or her own. Dear friends, there are some essentials, certain things that are required to be effective communicators. Several researchers have stressed the importance of communicating one's feeling effectively. This is as important to a social structure as breathing is to life. Hence, we have to understand the various properties or characteristics that must qualify our communicating activities and processes. A varied set of skills are thus essentials. First of all, clarity. The primary character of any spoken or written form of transmission of information should be to state the message clearly. There are several ways to do it. For example, the sentences should be short and simple. We should prefer the active voice over the passive voice. If we have to convey several messages, then it is convenient to state in separate bulleted points. Another essential of good communication is briefness, concise. Time is an essential parameter in communications. The normal attention span is just a few minutes long. If you present your message in a clear and beautiful manner, which is very long, the crux of the report or the message may be lost altogether. Long and lengthy communication is boring and avoided by most. So to summarize this point, effective communication has to be concise. Another next essential of good communication is concreteness. What your message or information or data is present in your communication, it should be well footed. Your argument should have data that suitably backs it up. A tangible argument is always easy to understand. Communication should be current. Suppose you are telling a story. What if you start from the middle part? Or what if you state the end in the beginning? Of course, the whole point of narrating a story would become when. Similarly, when you are presenting your communication, you need to be current. You need to understand that goes where and what comes when. The key to current write-up is well planned, logical and sequential presentation of the information. The main idea should be differentiable and they should follow each other in a way that is a derivative of some rules. Communication should be courteous. We know that all business communication should have some degree of formal flavor. The presenter should try his best to be honest, respectful, considerate, open, and polite with the receiver of the information. The message, when supplemented with proper care and kindness, will definitely find an audience. A rude presenter will have no audience, even if the message he delivers is perfectly effective and important. Offensive words can put off certain factions of people. You should take ample care to not be racist or misogynist or any other bad influence on the audience. Even while using humor, you should be very careful that you are not being inconsiderate or cruel to anyone. Communication doesn't only mean presenting or generating information. It also means to receive it. In fact, an effective communication channel must have a transducer and a receiver. Half of the faculty for the process is thus a receiver. For the purpose of effective communication, a receiver should have certain qualifiers. It should be able to delete the message which may be hidden deep within the chatter or gibberish. A good listener observes not only what person speaks, but also the non-verbal cues. This is what helps in the complete and full understanding of the transmission. So these are the various essentials for the good communication or effective communication. Here I stop. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to present my paper.
Thank you very much for such a wonderful presentation, sir. Now I invite Dr. Alpana Vaidya ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Political Science, Hislop College, Nagpur. Dr. Alpana Vaidya.
Thank you very much, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay. A very good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Alpana Vaidya, working in Hislop College, Nagpur, in Department of Political Science. First of all, I would like to congratulate whole national webinar team to organize this event for selecting such a relevant topic on soft skill development of rural UG students. It's absolutely true that in the era of globalization, under
हाँ. Ma'am, please unmute yourself. Ma'am, unmute yourself. त्यांना unmute कर होत नाही आहे त्यांना.
Sir, am I audible now? Sir?
हाँ, yeah, now you are audible.
Acha, so should we start? I will start again, sir. As we all know that rapid spread of coronavirus all over the world, maximum countries had tried to control the virus by lockdown. All the school and colleges were closed and exams were conducted online. 70% students were involved in e-learning. During this period, we realized that various platforms were used for e-learning like Swayam, Vedantu, Google Classroom, Zoom platform, team viewers. In this digital education, digital literacy played a major role. It focuses on students' perception towards digital learning during lockdown period, that students have been friendly with digital learning and maximum students have a smartphone, which made their digital learning easy and performance management and checking happiness with technology. It spread awareness of digital transaction and prevent cybercrime. It generates awareness towards online frauds. Information and technology inculcates more logical thinking and skills in terms of formulation of solution to the problems. It promotes discussion among students regarding various strategies in consonance with changing times. It empowers teachers as well as learners. It not just transforms the mode of teaching, but the entire learning process too. It helps the teachers to update their teaching competencies in ICT-based instruction strategies. It will create a live environment between the students and teachers while interaction. So now I conclude my point with this, that the significance of digital literacy is bringing about changes in learning are in terms of supporting distance learning, promoting active learning, student-centered learning, supporting basic education, promoting creative learning, and supporting knowledge construction, and promoting integrated learning. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to express my view. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for such a wonderful and lucid presentation. Now I request Dr. Anup Gumbe, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV, to present his paper. Over to you, Dr. Anup Gumbe, sir.
Thank you, sir. Today, in this one-day e-conference, I am going to present before you a very important soft skill, which is mentioned in the sub-themes, that is group discussion. In this globalization, most of us, we know that we are serving for the private companies, multinational companies. And group discussion is one of those equipments where within 30 minutes, they can judge 8 to 10 persons at a time. And here in this paper presentation, I am going to talk the 4 important aspects of group discussion. When you have passed your written examination and now you are appearing for the interview or the group discussion, what 4 important aspects you have to consider? All the young generation who are opting for some employment, they should consider 4 important aspects. They are: number 1, personality manifestation; number 2 is communication skills; number 3 is knowledge of the subject; and number 4 is the leadership. Now, students, when the personality comes, what important aspects you have to consider when you go for an interview? During the job interview, if you are asked to participate in the group discussion, you have to consider your appearance and bearing because it makes your first and the last impression on the employers. Your active, positive, and alive responses make a very nice impression immediately. Your body language, it reflects your confidence, your openness, readiness, and cooperative attitude. First of all, in this personality manifestation, your dressing sense is very important. Your clothes may not be very rich, may not be very costly, but they should be neat and clean. Your footwear, your tie, your hand positions, they should be very perfect. They should show your manners and etiquettes, because whenever you are seen by the employers, interviewers, you can attract their attention by your attire, by your dress. Number two is body language. Your body language is a very important aspect of the non-verbal communication. Your face, your expressions, they show your body posture, they show your confidence. Number next is when you speak in the group discussion, you are given some topic and you have to talk with the other colleagues. The tone and voice of your speech is very important. You should not hurt by the tone of your speaking, because every listener has his ego and self-esteem. Very moderately, very humbly you can speak, and that will make a very nice impression. The next is countenance, that is face. A smiling face wins the race. It automatically creates a very positive impression of the personality. The next is manners. How you behave with other people shows your culture and nature. So when you are participating in group discussion, your mannerisms, etiquettes, your courteousness, your helpfulness, your favorable, polite impression will win you the job. The second point is communication skills. Other speakers, they have also spoken. But when we study the lives of the great leaders, we can understand that they were able to express themselves eloquently and effectively. They could grasp the language, they could grasp the ethos and pathos of that particular culture. So wherever you are going for your job interview, wherever you are going to participate in a group discussion, you should be able to catch that ethos and pathos. If we study the great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi or Abraham Lincoln, or for that sake, any scientist like Albert Einstein, these people, they were able to communicate themselves. When you are going for a job interview, you should communicate effectively. It is not inborn talent. It can be learned and practiced. So, one must be able to communicate his ideas. You may be very intelligent, you may have passed with the first class or the distinction of marks, but if you are not able to communicate your ideas and thoughts to the public, to the other colleagues, you will not be able to win the hearts of the people. In communication, there can be some barriers also. There can be personal barriers. Some people, they have lost confidence. They cannot speak. They cannot share the emotions and sentiments. So this is personal problem. Then there are physical barriers. Some people, they may have stammering problem, weakness of voice or roughness of voice. So these physical barriers can be there. Then the third barrier is there. When you talk, there is called semantic barrier. So what we have to do, we have to avoid these barriers. We have to try to avoid. Semantic barriers means every language has some words that may convey some different word, different meaning. Okay, so these three barriers shall be avoided when you communicate, when you talk in a group discussion. In a group discussion, some topic is given for discussion, And the observers, they observe from another room. Maybe through CCTV camera or maybe through the mic system, they listen to you, they observe your body language, your personality traits, and who has taken initiative. So this communication skill is very important in the group discussion. When you go for a job, they search for the best candidates. And if you want to make a good impression on them, you should be able to have a good communication. The next is knowledge of the subject. See, friends, in this world of communication and information technology, your knowledge of the subject is very important. Knowledge is the wealth, knowledge is the power. We may not forget Alexander the Great, Napoleon, or Hitler, but we shall always remember Plato, Aristotle, Gandhiji, R.A. Chanakya for their knowledge of the subject. So these people are popular for their knowledge. So if you are ignorant, if you don't know anything, you will beat around the bush. So keep a knowledge of the international activities, national activities, political, scientific, economic, cultural events, and sports. This comes through regular newspaper reading. You should be doing that. The last and the fourth point is leadership. Now, leadership doesn't mean bossing. Leadership म्हणजे मराठीमध्ये नेतृत्व. नेता जो समाजाला, देशाला पुढे नेतो. जो समाज नेतृत्वहीन आहे त्या समाजाची कधी प्रगती होत नाही. जेव्हा तुम्ही मल्टीनॅशनल कंपनीमध्ये किंवा कुठल्या ऑफिसमध्ये जॉब साठी जाता त्यावेळी तुमच्यातले नेतृत्व गुण त्यांना दिसून पडले पाहिजे. याच्यामध्ये काही काही अप्रोचेस आहेत. हे जग जे बनलेलं आहे, हे जग जे आहे याचा इतिहास जर आपण बघितला तर आपल्या लक्षात येईल की हे जग महान लोकांनी घडवलेलं जग आहे. तर या लोकांसारखं आपण काय करता येईल ते आपल्याला बघितलं पाहिजे. याच्यामध्ये पर्सनॅलिटी ट्रेट अप्रोच हा अतिशय महत्वाचा आहे. पर्सनॅलिटी कॅरेक्टर्स दे आर इसेन्शियल इन द पर्सन in order to become a leader. So important traits that have been suggested are in leadership, they are courage, integrity, loyalty, charisma, ambition, intelligence, honesty, persistence, good health, political skills, confidence, and vision. Then leader behavior approach should be there, which is important in decision making, in giving directions, showing identity with the group and loyalty to the organization. तुम्ही ज्या संघटनेमध्ये, ज्या ऑफिसमध्ये, ज्या कंपनीत काम करताय त्यांच्याशी तुम्ही प्रामाणिक आहात हे तुमच्या वर्तणुकीतून दिसलं पाहिजे. तर अशा प्रकारे लिडरशिप क्वालिटीज मध्ये आणखी बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी आहेत. त्या मी फक्त इथे वेळ कमी असल्यामुळे मी फक्त वाचून दाखवतो. त्यामध्ये महत्वाची गोष्ट आहे नॉलेज. सेकंड इज एनर्जी. You have to work hard in the companies, in the offices. Then objectivity. कुठल्याही व्यक्तीबद्दल किंवा एखाद्या जाती धर्माबद्दल, भाषेबद्दल तुमच्या मनामध्ये पूर्वाग्रह असू नये. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज एम्पॅथी. तुमच्यामध्ये सहानुभूतीची भावना असली पाहिजे. नेक्स्ट इज कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. आफ्टर दॅट द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट इन लिडरशिप क्वालिटीज इज कोऑर्डिनेटिंग ॲबिलिटी. तुम्हाला त्या लोकांना समोर जर घेऊन जायचं आहे तर सर्वांना कोऑर्डिनेट करणे म्हणजे सर्वांच्या सहकार्याने एखादं कार्य करणे. याच्यामध्ये सोशल अडॅप्टिबिलिटी आणि मोटिवेशन या अतिशय महत्वाच्या गोष्टी आहेत. धन्यवाद. मला या ठिकाणी संधी दिली. आय एम ग्रेटफुल टू ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर लिसनिंग मी पेशंट. थँक्यू.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anup Kumar, for such a wonderful presentation. And now I would like to invite Mr. Dr. Vinod Shinde, Assistant Professor, Department of English, SET, Kesarimal Puraval College, Nagpur. Dr. Vinod Shinde, he's joining from some other ID. Dr. Vinod Shinde, are you there? हाँ डॉक्टर विनोद शिंदे सर. I'm just trying to connect him. Dr. Vinod Shinde. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Am I visible?
Yeah, you can. You are visible and audible too. You may
Thank you,
start
sir.
your presentation.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay. Allow screen share.
Is my screen
Allowed.
visible, sir?
Not now.
Okay. Just a minute, sir.
Yeah. Sir, if there is a technical issue, you may just read the paper.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, and we have to finish it in 6 minutes, just due
Okay,
to
sir.
short time.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Good
Okay.
afternoon, everyone. This is Dr.
Good
Vinod
afternoon.
Shinde.
Vinod sir, please
please.
unmute yourself. Vinod sir, please unmute yourself. You are not audible. Vinod sir, you are not audible at all.
आमचं चालू.
Now, am I audible, sir? Neeraj, sir?
Yes, you are audible now.
Okay, sir.
Please start.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Vinod Shinde from St. Kesrimal Purwal College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Kamti. And today's topic of my deliverance is effective communication skills. So first of all, we see what does communication mean. Communication is the art of transmitting information, ideas, and attitudes from one person to another. Communication is the process of meaningful interaction among human beings. There are some essences of communication skills. Personal process. Communication is a personal process. It occurs between people. At least two people are required to complete the communication. Communication involves change in behavior. It brings change in behavior. Communication means to influence others. If you are a good communicator, then you can influence people. Expression of thoughts and emotions through words and actions can be seen while you are doing communication. Communication can be a tool for controlling and motivating people. It is a social and emotional process. There are two kinds of communication on the basis of channels and on the basis of style and purpose. On the basis of communication channels, there are two types. One is non-verbal communication and another one is verbal communication. In verbal communication, there are two kinds of communication. One is oral communication and another one is written communication. And when we talk to person face to face, that is called face-to-face communication. Means we are talking to our students. It is a face-to-face communication. We are talking to our colleague or friend in front of each other. Then it is a face-to-face communication. And another one is distance communication. In distance communication, if you are talking to your friend on telephone, means you are talking, your communication is going on, but it is you are communicating with your friend from a distance place. And another one is written communication. When you are just applying for leave to your principal and you are writing something, that is a written sort of communication. on the basis of style and purpose, there are two kinds of communications. One is formal communication and another one is informal communication. In formal communication, when we talk to our colleagues or our principal or officers, any sort of officer, when we talk to them, it's a sort of formal communication. That sort of when we write any application or any letter to any office, that is a formal communication. And when we speak to our parents or friends or colleagues, sometimes it's a sort of an informal communication. The communication process, as I already told you, that communication requires at least two people. One is sender and another one is receiver. Sender sends message, he has to encode the message, and the receiver has to decode the message. Unless the receiver decodes the message, it is quite difficult for him to give a feedback or response. And sender sends that message through a particular medium, and here language can be a medium. So sender encodes the message through language, and receiver understands. If he knows the language, then only he can understand the message, and then he will give a feedback or response. There are certain barriers to communication. Noise. Yes, if I'm teaching in the classroom and some students are standing in the corridor and they are making noise, so it can disturb my communication. Whatever I want to communicate to my students cannot be communicated because of that barrier, that is noise. Inappropriate medium. Yes, as I told you, that language can be a medium of communication. If it is inappropriate, means students don't know the language what I am speaking. If that medium is inappropriate, so the message cannot be conveyed by the students. There are certain assumptions and misconceptions about communication. Means if some person is prejudiced, that if some person does not want to listen to me, he is prejudiced that sir doesn't know anything, and what he will say and what I will listen to him, why I should listen to him. Such type of assumptions are there. Some misconceptions about the person can be there, and therefore they do not listen to people, and that's why it can be a barrier to communication. Language differences. Yes, if I am speaking in English and the person who is listening to me doesn't know the language, then that communication cannot be completed. Poor listening skills. If the listeners don't have proper listening skills, then that communication cannot be completed. There are so many distractions when you teach to your students, or when you talk to your colleagues, when you talk to your friends, there can be some distraction. Yes, bus is passing through the way, and that noise can create some disturbance, and that can be a distractions in your communication process. Why effective communication? Why there is need of effective communication? The ability to effectively communicate with others is one of the most important tools for professional and personal success. Effective communication will help you influence others.
Sir, please conclude.
Yes,
please
sir.
Conclude.
So, dear friends, I want to say here, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Everybody wants to speak and speak. Nobody wants to listen to anyone. So, for good communication, if you want to keep a good communication with someone, then you need to listen to others first. Then you can just think that you should be understood by others. And I'm just, due to lack of time, I'm just going to the last slide, that social distancing. This term is very much famous nowadays. For last 2 years, we have been just going through this term, social distancing. Remember, friends, social distancing is a key strategy to prevent transmission, but it can come at a social and mental health cost. It can further our sense of isolation from one another and make us forget that we are in this together. So we need to keep in touch with each other. Social distancing, as far as COVID-19 is concerned, it is okay. But as far as communication is concerned, we need to keep in touch with each other. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time for the last presentation, and it's a pleasure to have Dr. Neeraj Kende with us. He is going to present his research paper on these soft skills.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to present my views on soft skills. I'm particularly talking about the interview skills, which is important so far for the graduate students, because whenever we go into the market or in a search of a job, this skill, interview skills is too much important for us. Let's see in short what is meant by the interview skills. So before an interview, we actually interview has been started. Your interview starts before you walk into an employer's door. So what as a student we have to do? We have to prepare a resume and application. And resume and application should be typed and error free. Then keep ready your original documents, original Xerox set, and be sure about the place, date, and time of the interview. And I advise all students to arrive 30 minutes early before to the place of interview. Then before going to an interview, one must know about the organization. Means the name of the organization, whether it is private or public, what product or services they sell. Then we should also come to know, try to get the information about management team. And where did we find this kind of information? We can go to the website of the company, or we can simply Google it. So these things are important before an interview. Then when we go into the room of interview, we should remember that first impression is the last impression, my dear friends. And then we should be very careful about the appearance. Then there are some terms where we should focus, just like good eye contact, firm handshake, our body language, posture, gesture, and then treat other people with courtesy, because you are most of the time in a surveillance of CCTV. So there might be a chance that employer is watching an eye to you. Then appearance. If we are talking about the appearance should be very formal. There is some pictures on slide. You can see which is the proper appearance for the female candidates. Then for the male candidates, male appearance should be very formal with good shirt and pant with a boot, tie, and belt, and all the accessories. Then the gesture and postures are very important at the place of interview. How you sit, it shows your confidence and your clearness of thoughts. Then firm handshake is very important in an interview room, but now in a pandemic time, we can avoid it. Then when you go to the interview room, they ask you to sit and ask the very simple question, tell me about yourself or introduce yourself. And that time we just tell them the name, and instead of the name, we can also add, there are some points on which we should focus, just like name, tell your full name, address, your qualification, and hobbies. These are the very important things. Tell your hobbies, then your skills too. Then speak slowly, clearly, and clearly. Make a small talk, and you should practice all these things before going to an interview. Then softly toot your own horn, means exhibit quiet confidence and organize your thoughts and apply your knowledge, skills, and abilities. And think globally, relate outside experiences to demonstrate your qualification. It may show that you are quite a good sound of personality, show your soundness. After that, some common areas should be covered in behavioral interview. They focus and they try to judge your leadership quality, teamwork, initiatives, analytical abilities, creativity, and innovations. Then they also try to judge or test your problem solving skills and customer and client relationship. They can ask about customer and client relationships. So you should be ready with all these points. Then other common questions to be prepared. For example, tell me about a time when you had an opportunity to lead others. What did you learn from it? Give any example when you lead. What are your strengths and weaknesses? If I ask some students that what are your strengths, just tell me 5 strengths. They may not be able, because they may be able to tell the 5 strength of their mobile phone, but they are not able to tell their own strengths. What achievements are you the most proud? Such type of questions may be asked in an interview. Just go through the slide. Then responding these questions, how to respond all these questions. Be specific and do not go general or vague answers. Don't describe how you would behave. Describe how you have how you did behave. If you later decide you should have behaved differently, explain this. The interviewer will see that you learn something from the experience. These are some basic question answers which you need to give in an interview session. Then there are some don'ts in the interviews. I'm just going to read just because of a short of time. Don't make excuse. Take your responsibilities for your decision. Don't make negative comments about previous employers or supervisor. This is it's a very important point that you should not give any negative comments to your prior employer. Don't treat the interview casually, as if you are just shopping around going to an interview for a practice. Don't give the impression you are only interested in salary, and don't act as tough you would be. You take any job or desperate for employment. Don't chew chewing gums and all these things you have to keep in mind while in an interview session. Then closing the interview, you should always very firm about your expectation about salary. Ask about the salary if it is not mentioned in the interview call. Provide a copy of a resume. Then restate your interest in the position and why you feel you are the ideal candidate. Then thank the interviewers for their time. Shake the interviewer's hand and remember to smile, because the smile can take you the miles. So in this way, I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to present a paper.
Thank you, sir. You have pinpointed the interview skills for the rural students, because whenever these young boys and girls, they go for interview, they face many problems. Now, I will invite the chairperson of this technical session, Dr. Anil Dodewar, to pass his expert comment and share his thoughts and views about the paper presentation session.
Thank you, Anup sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Honorable trustees of the organized institution, Honorable Shri Dilip Rauji Kade, Honorable Shobhatai Kade, Honorable Principal Dr. Haribhau Verudkar sir, today's keynote speaker Dr. Arnesh Somraj, Chairperson of the first technical session, and our mentor, Principal Dr. Nitin Mathankar, resource person of the first technical session, and my good friend, Dr. Sheetal Babu Taide, convener of the e-conference, Dr. V.M. Khadse, organizing secretary, and my close friend, Dr. Anup Gumde, Dr. Neeraj Kende, Amar Sote, Dr. Shailesh Khandare, all the scholars who have made wonderful paper presentation in this session, and my dear lovely students. Before I proceed, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Haribhav Verurkar, Honorable Principal of the college, for providing me this wonderful opportunity to be a part of National E-Conference organized on much needed topic, that is soft skill development of the students. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Anup Gumde for considering me worthy for this event. I also appreciate and congratulate the entire team of Krishna Education Society's Arts, Commerce and Science College Army for organizing a well-planned, well-organized event for the welfare of the students, that too, the students who come from rural area. Dear friends, I have attended several seminars, conferences, workshops, but very few institutions could organize a well-planned event for the welfare of the students. And Arts and Commerce College is one among such institutions. So it really deserves a word of appreciation for this academic venture. The topic chosen for today's deliberate discussion is highly praiseworthy, because if we analyze the present scenario, we come to know that the rural students badly need to acquire the soft skills to ensure the overall development. In addition to the traditional education, rural students need to be exposed to other important skills so that they may ensure themselves, or they may survive themselves in the age of competition. As a matter of fact, the traditional education which our students are currently taking will stand meaningless if they fail to acquire the soft skills. And it is the responsibility of higher education institutions to provide them such kind of opportunities so that they may develop themselves, they may develop their personality. It is on such important topic Dr. Taide has delivered a wonderful talk. Dr. Mathankar has also spoke about the importance of soft skills and communication skills as well. To continue the same discussion, 7 presentations have been made in this session. All these 7 presentations were wonderful. Research carried out on the topic chosen for these presentations were meaningful to a great extent. To pass a brief comments on the presentation, I take this opportunity to speak few words on the first presentation made by Dr. Nilesh Sulbewar. Dr. Nilesh Sulbewar has made a wonderful presentation on group discussion and operative tools in soft skill development. In his presentation, he defined what group discussion is. He also spoke about the importance of soft skills for the development of overall development of students in the field of higher education. He also emphasized the need to incorporate soft skills in university curriculum. And I do agree that in addition to this traditional, university has to, or university should, and in fact, it must incorporate all these skills to ensure the overall development of the students. Dr. Nilesh sir, your presentation was really wonderful and meaningful. The second paper presenter was Dr. Mohan Mende. He expressed his views on communication skills. He spoke about the importance of communication skills in the lives of students, particularly living in rural area. He made a distinction between formal and informal communication skills. In order to express ourselves, if the students want to express themselves, they need to have the knowledge of the topic. At the same time, they need to have communication skills as well. He also threw a light on why students hesitate to speak in front of the teachers. So in the end, he also spoke about the essential elements of public speaking, or essential elements but with the help of which we can become a good speaker. His presentation was also very meaningful and useful. The third paper presenter was Dr. Vijay Khadse. The topic of his presentation was essentials of effective communication. In his wonderful presentation, he also threw the light on essential elements which are required to be a good speaker. He made a detailed discussion on the essential skills with the help of which one can convey a clear message. Qualities like precision, concreteness, selection of words, language, etc. All these things are essential. All these skills one has to acquire if he wants to become a good speaker. Another paper presenter was Dr. Alpana Vaidya. She spoke on digital learning. She expressed her views on how important in teaching learning process. She also threw a light on the pandemic situation and the teaching learning process affected due to this corona. Then the next paper presenter was Dr. Anup Gumbre. His presentation was also very good. He wonderfully presented his views on the topic of group discussion as one of the soft skills. In his presentation, he emphasized the 4 aspects of group discussion: personality manifestation, communication skills, knowledge, and leadership. He cited some examples to justify his argument. To speak, his presentation was also very wonderful and meaningful. Another paper presenter was Dr. Vinod Shende. He spoke on effective communication skills. He emphasized the important elements of effective communication. He also, in his presentation, threw a light on different types of communication. He also spoke about the process and how the communication actually takes place between two. At the same time, he also spoke about the barriers that a speaker come across while expressing his ideas and thoughts. The last paper presenter was Dr. Neeraj Kende. His presentation was also very wonderful, and he spoke on the skills required for facing a successful interview. He started his presentation thought, first impression is the last impression. We all are familiar with this thought. If you present yourself, if you succeed in capturing the attention of the persons or the interviewer who are sitting next to you, half of the task is done. And that's what Dr. Neeraj Kende wanted to emphasize, wanted to tell throughout the presentation. He also explained how a student should prepare for the interview. Right from preparing a resume, an application, to the success, he explained everything. He also spoke about what kind of appearance a person should have while facing an interview. He also spoke about the importance of posture, body language, presentation, confidence, and so on. In his short presentation, he also spoke about the do's and don'ts, which play a very significant role in an interview. He also made a passing reference with regard to the manners and etiquettes need to be followed while facing interview. To speak, all these presentations were very wonderful, they were insightful, they were meaningful. And I am fully confident that these insightful, deliberate discussions on different topics with regard to the soft skill would definitely benefit to the students coming from rural area. In a nutshell, all these presentations were wonderful, and time constraint. This was all about from my end. Once again, I express my deep sense of gratitude to the organizing institution and all members of the who have given me this opportunity to be here, to be a part of this national e-conference. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Kende sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for your meticulous observation of all the presenters and sharing your views with us. Your suggestions will be very valuable for all of us. We will keep it in mind. Thank you once again. Now, I request Professor Dr. Anup Kumble sir to propose vote of thanks for the technical session 2 and paper presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Today, in this second technical session, we had 7 participants who have read their research papers. I am thankful to all of them. First of all, I thank Dr. Mohan Mende sir from Karanja College. Then there is Nilesh Sulbhevar sir, Shiv Shakti Arts College, Babu. Then Dr. Alpana Vaidya from Slop College and Dr. Vinod Shende for sharing their valuable thoughts through the research papers. Now I come to the most important topic, that is the chairperson of this technical session. Dr. Anil Dodewar has been working with us in the different places on the different dioceses. His observation, his way of speaking is very meticulous. Even during this session, he observed, he listened to all the researchers who have presented their papers, and he has made an expert comment. He is very busy. I have already read you the various responsibilities he has covered. He is YCMU coordinator, he is IQC coordinator, he is a member of RUSA. He is running 2 journals, e-journals. He is the secretary of the University Professors Association, and he is busy all the time. And now he has spared time for us. For the whole day, he is with us. I am very much thankful to you, sir, for sparing your time and thoughts with us. Thank you. Over to you, Neeraj.
Thank you once again, Dr. Gomez, sir. With the due permission of chairperson, I hereby declare that the session is over and we are moving to the last session of the conference, that is valedictory function. I take this opportunity to welcome the chairperson of the valedictory function, Professor Dr. Vijay Kharse sir, Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of English, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV. I also welcome my colleague Dr. Anup Gomez sir. Please join us on this function. And finally, we organize a conference which is helpful for the rural students, because in the modern workplace, student needs something more than technical skills to be successful in the career. Today's employer seeks candidates who can perform their jobs well, but who can also fit into the company culture and interact with other employees. In order to do these things successfully, student needs to develop their soft skill. In this session or in this conference, we discuss about what are the most important soft skills and how we could achieve and polish our skills. With all the speakers had made clear comments over the soft skills, and I hope students get benefit of this conference. Now, I request Professor Dr. Vijay Kharse sir to chair the session. And please give your views on the conference.
Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you very much. I welcome all the dignitaries, scholars, professors, students. The last segment of the one-day national level e-conference on soft skill development of rural students. The Department of English, Arts, Commerce and Science College, RV, District Wardha, Maharashtra, has organized one-day national e-conference on soft skills development of rural UG students, which help to develop various skills like communication skills, presentation skills, their personal skills, creativity, and leadership, etc. The conference is successful in focusing or making the students acquainted with the various qualities, various skills like leaderships. This conference has nicely projected what is leadership. It is the ability of an individual or a group of individuals to influence and guide followers or others members of an organization. This conference has well projected what is career management. This conference is successful in projecting that career management is a lifelong process of investing resources to accomplish your future career goals. This process embraces various concepts like self-awareness, career development, lifelong learning, etc. This conference well projected what is a digital literacy, which refers to an individual's ability to find, evaluate, and clearly communicate information through typing and other media or various digital platforms. The grand success of this conference lies in focusing and making acquainted student with the work ethics, which could be defined as a belief that work and diligence have a moral benefit and an inherent ability, virtue, or value to strengthen character and individual abilities. Hence, this conference is successful in focusing and projecting its sub-themes like communication, leadership, career management, physical attitude, time management, presentation skill, professional writing, digital literacy, work ethics, and group discussion. The resource persons, Dr. Taide and keynote speaker, Dr. Somraj sir, have particularly a focus on how we can develop our skills and rise as a developed personality. I express my thankfulness to Dr. Taide sir and Somraj sir. The recommendations suggested by Dr. Mathankar sir, the chairperson of first technical session, need to be taken into consideration. I express my thankfulness to Dr. Dodewar sir for sparing his valuable time for this conference. Here, I give pause to my speech. Thank you very much. Over to Neeraj.
Thank you very much, sir, for your observations. Now, I request Dr. Anup Gumbe sir to propose vote of thanks for the whole conference.
Thank you, sir. I take the opportunity to propose the vote of thanks for this whole conference. Dear participants, professors, and my students, first of all, we must be grateful to the founder of this institution, late Narayan Rao Kare, who was the founder of this education society. In 1963, when RV was a small town, he established this college. He was having the vision. Today, we are all able to have the education, graduation, post-graduation level education at this town only because of his vision. Secondly, I will say thank you to the president of the Krishna Education Society, Advocate Dilip Raoji Kare, and treasurer, Advocate Shobhatai Kare, who always encourage us with their guidance. They always allow us to organize such type of conferences, seminars, webinars, and workshops, wherever we are able to connect with the local population, youths, and the society. Thank you very much, Advocate Kare sir and Advocate Shobhatai Kare madam. Next, I will say thank you to the principal who always focus on regular organization of such types of conferences. In the pandemic era, we are not able to organize offline conferences or webinars, seminars. So Dr. Verulkar, he had allowed us to organize such types of e-conferences. I am thankful to you, sir, on behalf of Department of English. The keynote speaker, Dr. Anej Somraj, he is the head of curriculum and NSQF ASAP of Kerala. He is working with the state government of Kerala. And obviously, he is very busy. He has spared his time. He has shared his thoughts through the PPT. We are able to understand what is going on in Kerala. He spoke about women empowerment, and we all know the importance of this half of the population, their problems. Thank you, Dr. Anej, sir, for sparing your time. The chairperson of the first technical session was Dr. Nitin Mathankar. His words of wisdom, they are very useful for us. He spoke to us about all the criteria that Dr. Sheetal has spoken. Thank you, sir, for sparing your time. The resource person of the first technical session, Dr. Sheetal Babu Taide, who is a popular speaker in Vidarbha region. He is also very busy, and we are thankful to him for giving his time for us. All the students will be benefited by your guidance and the words of wisdom. The chairperson of the second technical session, we cannot forget Dr. Anil Dodewar. Thank you, sir, for being with us and chairing the session of the second technical session. I am also thankful to the computer department. Professor Shailesh Khandare, he is always ready to help us. At the 11th hour, he is ready with his technical abilities, his superior skills, his soft skills. Whatever problems we people face, he is ready to sort out. I am thankful to the computer department for making available this laboratory and all the equipments. Last but not least is the students. Many students, they have registered for this conference and they have participated actively. They have listened patiently, and I am thankful to them. All those persons who have directly and indirectly helped us for the success of this e-conference, I salute all of them, and I stop here and I declare that the valedictory function is over. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. With the due permission of chairperson, I hereby declare that the valedictory function is over, as well as the conference is also. We have to end here. Thank you, Dr. Dodawar sir, Dr. Kharse sir, Dr. Gumbe sir, all the participants, keynote speaker, and my dear students. I take your leave. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, all of us.
Sir, you are not audible. Dr. Dodawar sir, you are not audible. अच्छा, ते बोलत आहे वाटते.